Dumpling. Oh, play. Dumpling. It's your boy Ink. Oh, welcome to Full Culture Show. Oh, we guys are doing well. So having a wonderful day on this 22nd March 2025. We're about to do a tournament on the tower, and I am extremely excited to play the game. So the plan is actually really simple. We took a dive last tournament, because we didn't know the new rules. So yeah, so we're taking a dive. Oh, I'm sorry, you're hearing the. So most of this are gonna be super easy, right? So most of these are gonna be super easy. Now the only problem is I do not think that I'm gonna be able to avoid getting them in the first charge. Change one skin. So let's do a couple of quests. There's a couple of quests. Gotta say, I do not like the new system. The new system, which is a bit more among the line of. Give me a second. Okay, perfect. So now we have 200. So we're gonna be changing the skin. We're gonna be changing the skin for a 2 weeks, which is gonna be the Dark Strand. So you can tell that I haven't bought it. Oh, I did. Okay. Okay, so that's also important. So we're gonna be changing for the Dark Strand. I don't think I can move on from the gold. I haven't done this in a while. We'll do a tower talk. The tower talk, I just don't have anything to say. To be honest, we're having a really harder time, a lot of a harder time, keeping up. A lot of a harder time keeping up. Oops. So the gold league. Perfect. You're still in the gold league. So this is it for the crown. For the crown, I have to change what it is. Team wise, I do prefer the last one, but it's okay. It's actually a really nice event. We were working when this event appeared. Open ticket. I have to check out the mission. Okay. Nope. No. I made a mistake. Milestone. Cool. Okay, so now we have the last one. Are you at 99%? Okay, that's good. Do not fuck it up. You're my honey pot, sugar plum. Da-da-dum-dee-dum. You're my sweetie pie. Good. Now I'm hoping. I was trying to get some time. No, we're in the same. Oh fuck. We're in the same. It's okay. So now we're kind of in a bad position because now we have 3 potions. 3 of them. That is not good. Okay, so we're gonna do attack research. I'm gonna move on to the attack research because I'm not able to I'm not able to do the same thing. So attack research, we're gonna do damage, attack speed, and range. L to the yell. Good. Okay, perfect. Yeah, but I'm just not able to maintain it. I love this, but I'm not able to maintain it. So we're gonna have to move on to the second one when I'm gonna be able to do it. Maintaining what? Maintaining the the 3 of them, the Golden Tower and the standard perks. So we're gonna move on to health regen, defense, health regen, and we're gonna go for the last one. I'm gonna go something along the line of defense percentage. Nice. It's gonna be really helpful. You can see that the event, the Dark Strand is super good. So now we have the free defense upgrade, which is great. Oh, my neighbor's streaming. Okay, cool story, bruh. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Am I gonna have a problem with the? No, I don't think so. We got the Haunted Mirror. That could have been really good. It's okay. It's okay, man. 120. Perfect. You're my sugar plum diddy dum. Okay, that's good. So Tyrant Talk, I don't really have anything to say, dude. Let's check out if the guild chat. Okay, first time over 1k in Chain Journey. Wow. When I'm Fat Finger and I pop Demon Mode mid-run. Nice. Let's see what the day's over. Okay, cool. Mod guys use. I can break. Mythic DP. One was redirected. Woot. Tourney day. Good luck, everyone. Good. Perfect. Darkshines looks amazing. The problem with Jog Strand is back then I wasn't really. I spent a lot of time with the default. I would wear it a couple of days the event, and I would go back to default because I really like the default. And there's you guys that told me, hey, you're putting this too much. Shadow Puppet's actually a really cool looking relic. Hello. What we're doing is we're actually paying attention to this, and it's actually really nice. Really nice. The time one was really cool. The reason why the time one was really cool was because it was a new one. So this is gonna be able to do it. I could be buying butter. Let's buy butter. If I'm gonna have enough time to buy the chip. But for now, butter is the way to go. You can even change it, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Um. $150. I need 225, 425. I'm gonna be sleeping in a little bit, guys. I'm tired. I have big days. Feels good. Feels good. I don't even feel like making content. That's why. The problem is not the tower. The problem is me. I'm always fucking tired. Always fucking tired. But 32? Which is a bit risky, to be honest, but it's okay. It's a bit risky. It's going in a tournament. If it wasn't in a tournament, it would be risky, but we're in a tournament, so. I hope you find that peace of mind.
Dubai.
What did I do? Feel at home. Dubai.
Yo, dude. What's up, man? Your fucking hair, man.
Welcome back to the MHS channel. First, I'm very curious to know where you're watching from and at what time. Feel free to share in the comments below.
Actually pretty good.
Shen and I have been close friends since we were children.
Horror story, I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Avec le réseau 5G fiable.
But not the whole night. We did that yesterday. I don't really see. I don't have my glasses.
I know, I love pizza. I'm Italian.
Good fit. That would be good as fuck. Okay. She's terrible.
The satisfying downfall of Bobby Altov. Now, Bobby Altov.
What's her name? Brer. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna watch this. That's a good idea. The worst YouTuber. Sorry, man. Big one, Z.
This much. This much.
Let's upgrade you too. That is rating is crazy.
Oui, la poésie. Mais quand t'as un problème de sécheresse séculaire, c'est surtout quelqu'un de compétent que tu cherches, tu sais.
Octo-réseau, on vous voit comme personne.
Penguin Zero is one of the most popular commentary channels on YouTube
my
with
apologies.
over 15 million subscribers. One video of his can make or break of the creator's career. And in this mega compilation, we're going to be diving deep into the creators who have been subject to his wrath. But before we go any further, former YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki lost her battle to cancer at the time of uploading this video. With that in mind, a portion of this video's revenue will be donated to Fight Cancer Foundation, a non-profit which provides accommodation for cancer patients and their families, as well as funds research on finding a cure. A donation link will be in the pinned comment, and I will share proof of donations on the community tab. With that being said,
So there was
let's get into the video. The moment Maximilian Miss decided
She was a good CEO of
his
YouTube.
audience into attacking Charlie's stream for no reason marked the beginning of the end for his very successful career. From being exposed as the ringleader for one of YouTube's most toxic communities, all the way to deleting his million sub YouTube channel and disappearing for over a year. The name Maximilian Miss has gone down in internet history as a creator who weaponized his platform for selfish amusement and paid a very hefty price. But how does a beloved Fortnite YouTuber known for making lighthearted trolling videos
In here, go get the car. There's a car in here. Spare car, go. Oh! Bye! Bye! Bye!
become one of the most hated YouTubers on the platform? Well, it all came crumbling down with just one P.0 video. Max created his main channel, Maximilian Miss, on the 24th of August 2011. However, his story on YouTube didn't truly start until the 3rd of March 2013, when he uploaded his first video playing the Half-Life 2 mod Hidden in a video titled People Raging Over Friendly Fire. Despite not even having a mic yet, many of the traits that would go on to define his career were present in the first few videos. His ability to provoke other players to draw out a reaction, and a passion for shooter-type games took center stage as he transitioned from Half-Life 2 over to Team Fortress 2. While these video formats brought back some attention, it wasn't enough for him, as he stopped uploading on the 23rd of May 2013. It wouldn't be until the 25th of September 2014 that a certain indie game named Five Nights at Freddy's rejuvenated Max's will to create content. Max didn't know it yet, but that game would go on to make for up to 90% of his uploads going forwards, taking him from under 1,000 subscribers to over 10,000 subscribers by the start of 2015. Throughout the year, Max didn't hesitate to make the most of Five Nights at Freddy's meteoric rise in popularity, with videos such as Five Nights at Freddy's New Chica Model and New Bonnie Jump Scare. He even purchased a microphone to further improve the quality of his videos.
Is this real or fake? What the hell?
For a while, Max enjoyed a degree of success that he only could have dreamed for at the start of his channel. But as Five Nights at Freddy's popularity came and went, so did the growth of his channel. Every subsequent upload brought in fewer and fewer views, until he had to abandon the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise entirely in late 2015. Once again, Max was in desperate need of a popular game franchise that would bring in consistent viewership, and with that being said, he spent over a year searching for one. Luckily for Max, a newly released team-based multiplayer first-person shooter called Overwatch would provide him with the engagement he very much so craved. His first upload centered around Overwatch was titled Losing My 10 Placement Matches in Overwatch, Road to Bronze, published on the 8th of December 2016. The video brought back Max's trolling nature from his TF2 days, and this time it was even worse.
So from the thumbnail and the title of this video, you probably guessed that I'm trying to reach the lowest rank ever. And what better way to do this than to lose all 10 of my first matchmaking matches.
Throughout the video, Max would do more than just trying to lose on purpose, but also trying to actively provoke his teammates.
Max, can you stop trolling please, man? Just play. Oh, I'm not trolling. I'm playing serious. Where are the enemies? I'm new to the game. I don't know who's an enemy or who's my friend. Is this guy my enemy? Is this guy my enemy or is this guy my friend? I think that guy's my enemy.
The video was a massive hit with fans and garnered over 500,000 views. Naturally, this encouraged Max to continue with trolling other players for views. From December 2016 to July 2017, Max made a name for himself in the Overwatch community for being an incredibly toxic player who was willing to trash talk and troll everyone he came across. It was also around this time that a community began to form around Max and his strange brand of content. With this, he created a Discord server for his fans and like-minded trolls that shared shared his sense of humor. While this form of edgy humor garnered him an average of 300k views per video coupled with a loyal fan base, it also attracted the attention of the game's developers, Blizzard Entertainment. At the time, Overwatch had a serious issue with toxicity within its player base, and the developers were willing to take any method necessary to handle the problem. In Blizzard's eyes, Max was one of the players perpetuating the toxicity plaguing Overwatch, and they began to take action against his behavior. By the 12th of August 2017, Blizzard began monitoring Max's channel and banned each of his accounts as soon as he uploaded a video. In his typical comedic style, Max decided to make light of the situation by making videos with titles like "Banned for being nice in Overwatch," "Banned in Overwatch for nothing," and "Banned for being positive in Overwatch." However, the cycle of creating new accounts and immediately getting banned eventually took its toll on Max, which caused him to quit playing Overwatch entirely.
I need somebody to replace me. So if you're a fan, if you're a viewer, and you've been enjoying my videos, and you want to repay me somehow, just do me one favor and become an Overwatch YouTuber.
For the third time in his online career, Max was forced to drop a game that defined the content on his channel. Only this time, it wasn't due to a decline in viewership, and instead was the result of his reckless trolling going too far. As hopeless as the situation might have seemed, Max would once again jump ship to a game that would take his channel to new heights in terms of subscriber counts and viewership. However, that same success would bring some unintended consequences that posed a threat not to just him, but to other creators around him. By the 27th of February 2018, Max diverted his attention to start creating trolling videos around Fortnite, with the first video being titled "Acting Dumb in Fortnite Then Carrying."
Ba 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 ba.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, bro?
Yes? Help me, help me!
Oh my god, you died. Noob, noob, noob. No, you don't.
Yes?
No, you do not. Don't lie to me, bitch.
I'm not like to you.
You are lying to me.
You're coming with that.
What?
Compared to other games that Max had showcased on his channel, Fortnite was within a league of its own in terms of popularity. For context, Fortnite had around 200 million players within its first years of release. This not only gave Max a limitless supply of diverse players to torment with his racist and sexist remarks, but also a massive viewer base of impressionable children who were interested in his edgy humor, a demographic that Max knew was gullible enough to follow his toxic lead. In the months that followed, Max's subscriber count skyrocketed, eventually leading to 400,000 subscribers in June of 2018. It was also around this time that Max uploaded a video with the title "I ran into PewDiePie in Fortnite and he was kinda rude," which would mark the start of two very prominent themes in his career. One, his willingness to clickbait and manipulate his audience, and two, his trolling antics resulting in a viral meme. With regards to the first point, at the end of the video, Max asked his audience to lie about seeing PewDiePie in the video. As for the second point, a brief clip of Max saying "oh yeah yeah" over and over again would evolve into a viral meme.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Do you like my song?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
The "Oh Yeah Yeah" music video got over 13 million views within 8 months, and the sheer virality of the meme boosted Max's subscriber count to 426k to over 534k in only a matter of weeks. This showed Max that he had a great deal of influence and notoriety, especially when it came to his quote "loyal fans." By the 21st of June 2018, Max published a video titled "Watch This If You're a True Fan," in which he decided to test how much influence he had over his fans by telling them to use his profile picture.
Make this your profile picture and you will have eternal luck. You will always be happy. You will always be successful. Everything you do will be easy. You will be like a god. You've been sleeping your whole life, but I just woke you up. Be wise and make the right choice.
As you'd expect, thousands of his followers did exactly as he requested, and while this seemed like nothing more than a harmless joke, it was becoming obvious that his audience were willing to do anything Max told them to do. Combine this with the fact Max didn't seem to have any resistance when it came to regulating his own behavior online, it was only a matter of time before he decided to use that influence in a less than honorable manner. It started off small, with Max threatening to mobilize his fanbase to quote "go psycho" on KSI if he didn't change his profile picture and join them.
Side, you mess with the wrong army. This is not Logan Paul or some dumb bush track.
You do not understand how powerful we are. That's just for nice guys. We're gonna give you one last option before we go crazy mode. Okay, Sai, make this your profile picture or we will go psycho mode on your ass. You have 24 hours to do it. If you do not agree to our demands, too late.
Unfortunately, this would be one of the mildest ways Max weaponized his audience. By the start of 2019, Max would reach the 1 million subscriber milestone, and immediately begin his campaign of harassment. One of his first victims was a streamer by the name of Weast, who spoke out about Max's toxic behavior. In retaliation, Max and his community routinely raided his stream, and directed harassment towards Weast's girlfriend after her father passed away, with comments on the GoFundMe page stating, "Ron about to be gone. Max is better. Ron looks like the guy from Jurassic Park if he had Down syndrome. And Max is better than Ron. ×2. To add insult to injury, Max also mobilized his community to impersonate Weast and go into various streamers' Twitch chats to spam hateful or racist comments, in hopes of smearing the streamer's reputation. To help remedy the situation and spread awareness, Weast made a Twitter thread to discuss what had been going on, and to apologize to everyone that was affected.
So, I wanted to apologize to any streamers on Twitch who think that I have been harassing them. So, what is actually happening is, this YouTuber that I talked about many months ago, Maximilian Musk, he's a Fortnite YouTuber, and he is most notably popular for his "oh yeah yeah" meme. That's pretty much what people know him as. Well, I know him as a scumbag who uses his audience to harass people online, and I've talked about it before, and I personally interviewed this guy, and that's why he targets me, because he sees me as a threat. He is using his Discord server to harass these people, to go to their streams and say transphobic and homophobic and just general distasteful things. Now, he does this on Twitch specifically because he knows that these people are going to report my channel, and they're going to, ultimately get me banned from Twitch, which would make me lose 90% of my income.
To fully get the point across, Weast shared some of the recent messages from Max's Discord server that show the true source of the never-ending harassment.
As these three who were sitting in the Discord server and giving Maximilian's a small Discord server full of very dedicated 12-year-olds, I can assume, to go to these specific streamers and harass them. Right here, Rich Campbell, Alinity, of all people, my friend Bluestank. Also, this is not me. This is Max, or one of his friends, using my profile picture and my name. Even the yellow that I use in my Discord server, you can see it's actually the same, close to the same yellow that I use. To go to these streamers and tell his viewers to say terrible things in their chat and say that they're from me. And it's not. And I want to apologize to those streamers that are affected by this, because this is not me. This is a scumbag with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube who will never, ever, ever talk about this on his main channel, because he's a coward and he hides behind his anonymity and his audience, who he...
To cover his tracks, Max deleted everything on the server and moved his community elsewhere to continue the harassment campaign. A few days after the incident, Max was asked about the situation, and he had these kind words to say.
You're absolutely okay, even though you didn't think you were going to do it, with ending this guy's career, is that correct?
Yeah. Let me tell you something, okay? I did this to piss him off, but if this got his Twitch taken down, I would have been happier than with what happened right now.
Really?
I really don't care that much.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, I don't care in the sense that he tried to do this to somebody else. But
yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, it's wrong. You don't think it's wrong to do that, to mess with somebody's well-being, their livelihood?
Well, I think it's so over-exaggerated because, okay, let's say that did happen. Okay. What's next? They'll just get a job and move on, It's not like I'm gonna ruin his life.
Max's quest for sick amusement was insatiable, as he would later force a mentally ill individual to eat his own body chocolate on a video call that he was broadcasting to his fans.
So, hold Mr. BTFO close to your mouth. It's time to eat him. Don't eat him. Just push through. You don't give a fuck. Eat him.
Max had no remorse when it came to using his massive platform to harm the lives of others. If Max wanted to get a cheap laugh out of using his legion of loyal fans to raid your streams and ruin your career that you spent years building on, then so be it. It's more than safe to say that Max felt invincible, and that he could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, without consequence. But unfortunately for him, there always are some type of consequences. And this time, it wasn't someone else's career at stake, it was actually his own platform on the line. On the 18th of February 2021, as Max was carrying on with his usual campaign of harassment, he decided it would be a good idea to troll Most Critical, aka Charlie's livestream.
Like just go here, type Maximilian Muss. Just type Maximilian Muss.
Alright,
That's it. And oh yeah. Maximilian Muss really good. Wait, keep fucking type. Wait, a lot of people still type though. Keep typing. Type Maximilian Muss. Type we own this chat now. We own the chat now. This room is in 10-minute folder. What? Wow.
After Max and his fans finished trolling his stream, Charlie decided to drop a very shocking allegation about Max and his community, one that could spell the end of his edgy career if found to be true.
Remember when he took over YouTube for a bit? Yeah, and then he started sharing child pizza in his Discord.
Oh my god, what is... Did you hear what he just said?
The very next day, Charlie released a video titled "This is the Worst YouTuber," in which he brought to light many of Max's past wrongdoings, such as his numerous harassment campaigns.
His name is Maximilian Muss. He's the oh yeah guy. That's the only thing he's ever done. It's the 15 minutes of fame that he continues to milk the very dry titties of to this day, to command a troop of 13-year-olds to harass, dox, threaten, and do all kinds of deplorable shit to other people online. From all sizes, people that have 2 viewers on Twitch to big streamers to big content creators. He does some absolutely degenerate shit, and I truly think he is one of the most vile, foulest people to ever use the platform and abuse the power that he found online.
Attempts to humiliate people.
And yeah, it is a horrible bit, but it gets worse. He also would have his followers go to other people's channels and force them to do things. Like there was a man that had that he went to the channel and forced him to eat his own chocolate on stream. He was threatening and having his community threaten to find and kill him if he didn't do everything Max said.
Bullying smaller creators.
There was also this content creator that Max targeted, a very small creator who was just making some things because he was having fun. He took his whole community to bully the shit out of him relentlessly. He ended up crying and profusely apologizing, begging for the bullying to stop, which of course Max didn't.
Forgive me. Just please stop harassing me, please. I beg for forgiveness. Please have mercy. Please.
As well as presenting some new allegations regarding some activities on Max's Discord server involving cheese pizza.
And that brings us to the reason and the biggest problem I have with Max and why I'm making this video today. He's recently popped his head out after hibernating for over a year, stewing in his own bodily fluids and filth, and he wanted to feel powerful again. So he set up another Discord to have people go in and harass streamers, and I was one of the targets. And when they targeted me, I mentioned saying Max Gang is like saying you're proud to be a pedophile. And the reason why I said this is because Maximilian himself will tell you the reason he remakes the Discord so many times is because his community shares so much child pizza that he has to take it down because he worries that he himself will get arrested for it. Unfortunately, Max has scrubbed his entire Reddit and made it private, so all of the posts that were talking about the child plague that was sweeping through Maximilian's community, they're no longer there. His own posts about his stance on it are no longer there. However, I did find one thread that he overlooked where it does talk about it. It's this right here where they're talking about someone that was sharing child, and that was the reason it was taken down. This is the only one that survived the purge of Maximilian's subreddit. And I don't know how Max handles these things these days, but back then, he used to defend it, saying that the sharing of child is just an inside joke of his community.
While Charlie was yet to provide rock-hard evidence of Max fostering cheese pizza, there were countless times in the past where he either called himself a P-word or endorsed it.
Discrimination. Yeah. We need to end discriminations against smokers and pedophiles. I'm a proud pedophile, and pedophiles discrimination. What people do. Okay, let me ask you something. If pedophilia is wrong, then why is there a phrase that goes by the words, hello, Steve baby? Why do people say Steve baby if babies aren't Steve? How do you explain that one? Do you have a problem with my lifestyle? So what? I had to put a baby. The baby liked it. If I'm not supposed
What the fuck?
to babies, then
There was also the matter of Max claiming to find someone to quote kill Charlie because of the exposed video. Within days of Charlie's exposed video,
1.5 billion plastic bottles are now refundable, including water, sparkling water, milk, juice, and liquor in plastic. Return yours today.
Ce qui m'a le plus surpris depuis que j'ai déménagé au Nouveau-Brunswick, c'est la nature, les arbres, l'espace. Mon mari et moi aimons faire de la randonnée, du vélo et explorer différentes choses. Ça me rappelle beaucoup mon pays, ce qui fait toute la différence.
in a now deleted response video, Max attempted to counter Charlie's points by stating that there was no evidence.
Maximilian himself will tell you the reason he remakes the Discord so many times is because his community shares so much child
Cheese pizza.
that he has to take it down because he worries that he himself will get arrested for it.
this is literally just straight up a lie, and that's why he doesn't show any screenshots or clips to back up his statement, because I've never ever said anything of this sort.
He claimed that he didn't even have a Reddit account.
Unfortunately, Max has scrubbed his entire Reddit and made it private, so all the posts that were talking about the child plague that was sweeping through Maximilian's community, they're no longer there.
There's just more lies. I literally don't have a Reddit account. I don't own my subreddit. And also, he's literally implying that if this was to ever happen, that people would only talk about it on my subreddit, therefore making it a very convenient thing for him to say, yeah, it happened on Reddit, but the Reddit's gone, so I guess all the evidence is gone. If this shit was actually happening, it would be all over. It wouldn't just be on one specific subreddit.
As well as attempting to defend his harassment campaigns on Twitch.
Having them go to streamers' streams and spam racist and homophobic shit by his orders and spam Max Gang with it, hoping to get the streamers banned for it.
Now this is true. We didn't go to a lot of streams and spam and do cringy stuff, but I don't know why he assumes that I wanted them to get banned. That was never a goal.
And from what I remember, some of them did get banned, but the ones that didn't just had a really bad time.
Literally nobody we rated got banned. I don't know why he's saying this, but it's what.
And finally, explaining why he asked someone to eat, quote, chocolate during a video call.
Also would have his followers go to other people's channels and force them to do things, like there was a man that had a mental illness that he went to the channel and forced him to eat his own chocolate on stream.
Again, this is straight up a lie. There was no live stream. It was a private Discord call.
He was threatening and having his community threaten to find and kill him if he didn't do everything Max said.
This is another lie with no evidence. There was no threats. There was no, oh, I'm gonna kill you, oh, we're gonna find you, anything going on. Before I continue, I want to explain the context of that call. This man is JMA. He's known for calling literal police stations and calling in bomb threats, claiming responsibilities for mass shootings, also sending pizzas to people's houses. It was my literal second interaction with him. I knew barely anything about him at the time except for these things, and he turned his camera on. He was already doing weird shit. And then I told him to eat his own and I was acting impressed, and I was like, oh my god, you're so awesome. And this is what people are saying. I forced him, and that I said I was gonna kill him if he wasn't gonna do it and shit like that. Like, yes, I encourage them is definitely weird, but there's a huge difference between saying, oh hey, eat your own shit, and somebody doesn't, versus saying, you gotta do this or I'm gonna kill you. Oh yeah, I'm bringing my fans in here, we're gonna kill you. There was literally nothing of that. I didn't force him at all.
Naturally, the internet was set ablaze, with people talking about the situation, and several other creators beginning to look into the events that had transpired.
Now, because of this off-platform behavior, Max's Discords are, they sort of come and go, okay? Like, they get removed, they get brought back, it's a whole wild case. There have been people who are sharing Maximilian per Discord, like proof of sharing inappropriate content. Now, Charlie made a video, I mentioned earlier, where he made a bold claim that said that there's things like, child material being shared on his Discords. Now, I'm not going to co-sign with that on Charlie simply due to the fact that that is a very, very bold claim. Unless you have an actual, proof sitting right in front of you, then you can go and accuse as much as you want. But for me, I'm going to go with Max's explanation, as hard as that is to say, where Max shared, this is the reason his Discords get taken down. Discord is focused on maintaining a safe and secure environment for our community, and our account has been flagged by the community for violations of TOS. What violations? Engaging in or posting content encouraging the harassment of individuals or communities, threatening to harm another person or sharing content which was threatening another person, or doxing.
Max is now backed into a corner and losing subscribers by the hour. But not just that, he was also receiving strikes to his channel. After receiving 2 strikes due to people reporting his channel, Max decided that the only way out of this predicament was to temporarily delete his channel, but that wouldn't be before making this community post. I'm gonna delete my channel. I'm not a P-word, and I never said cheese pizza is okay, but I've done
that?
bad stuff over the years.
Trans God, the fuck is that?
That's what Hero Gamers says. It's a miracle my channel is still up, because over the years, I've probably got a total of 15 strikes. Some random innocent person is being doxxed because people think I'm him.
The numbers going down any longer, especially since it's entirely his own fault and he should take full responsibility for the actions that caused all of this in the first place, but he doesn't have that level of self-awareness. So when Max was seeing the numbers go down, he threw in the towel for a month, took a break, and today, just like a gopher, he decided to pop his curious little head out of his hole, and he saw his shadow and decided it's time for 2 more hours of YouTube drama.
For the remainder of the video, Charlie covered 3 main points regarding his allegations about Max. 1. He counters Max's claims of slander by providing further details regarding what went on in the Discord server.
So I want to get ahead of this and just do a full goatsy and just go fully in here and give you all of the information about Max that has also been shared with the proper authorities. In Max's response, he harps on 3 major things. The first being a screenshot I posted for a few seconds that he claims is a fake screenshot. Now, I'm not going to be here and get into the weeds of it and split hairs. It's entirely possible that is a fake screenshot. Screenshots are very easily fake, and I don't work for an FBI's crime lab. I can't verify the authenticity. I can't go in there in the fucking blockchain and piece together the puzzle pieces and see if it's real. I can't say with certainty whether or not it's real. So if it is fake, then I should have done more to verify its authenticity, and I do apologize for that. But what I can say with certainty is there was very clearly a problem with how women were treated when in his community. After posting the video, I received no less than 50 to 100 emails from victims of Max and Max's community in the Discord. These were women that came forward all sharing very similar stories and talking about the horrible things that they would encounter in that Discord when they would try and speak. They were oftentimes goaded into explicit conversations and often baited for foods. They try and get like foods out of them or something like that. They shared a lot of information and a lot of disturbing screenshots of conversations in the Discord, none of which I will be sharing here to protect their privacy, but again, that has all gone to the proper channels. So there's very clearly a problem with the way that Max and his community would treat women that were inside of the Discord. Now, if this screenshot is fake, again, I do apologize, and I should have done more to make sure that I was sharing only the facts, the most accurate information, and this one is now questionable, so I shouldn't have put it in there.
2. He corrected his point on how Max was threatening a mentally ill individual, and instead stated how Max manipulated him. And 3. Charlie brought forward some evidence to support his claims of cheese pizza being shared in Max's server.
So let's go ahead and really dive in. First, let me show you how it got to this point. Why was cheese pizza shared on Max and Lane's Discord? Why were pedophiles encouraged to join? Well, because Max was pretty open with these kind of things. Like, here's a clip from one of his old Fortnite videos.
What? Are you a pedophile?
Of course.
Me too, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah. I met a pedophile friend. Yeah.
There's probably like 2 other kids on our team.
I was gonna say let's them, but then my video would get age restricted. And yeah, I'm recording a video. I have 200 subs. Say hello to YouTube. Bro.
Hello, YouTube. Little boys in there.
What?
Boys, let's go. Move.
People are gonna watch this in the future. I'm live streaming for the future, man. I don't, guys. When I say I had sex with the children, it's a joke. Wink, wink.
Of course. Wink, wink. Anyways, where'd you guys land?
Max used to, and still currently does, joke about being a pedophile, and like I said in the initial video, used to write off the sharing of child porn in his servers as a joke with his community, and that it wasn't a big deal. So, like I said, he used to defend the sharing of cheese in his servers as a joke, and I'll go ahead and show a few screenshots of that. But first, let me prove to you that it used to be shared. Mudahar, who's a man I trust dearly in situations like this, who has worked in cybersecurity for fucking years, it is his fucking profession. If anyone can verify the authenticity of something this heinous, it would be Mudahar. And Mudahar sent this message to confirm it's real. and this has of course been forwarded to proper authorities as well.
To close out the video, Charlie decided to directly address Max's attempts at garnering sympathy with a few wise words of his own.
Genuinely have no idea what you're talking about with this pity party you're trying to throw about being a better person. If you really tried, you failed instantly. Like, it wasn't even close. There seems to have been no attempt to be a better person. Again, all the shit that started this happened a month ago, Max. That was the whole reason I even went back through your past, is because you were doing this horrible shit, having your community raid streamers, spamming homophobic and racist shit a month ago. And this SWAT was a couple months ago. You have not improved. You haven't come close. You haven't tried. You are still an absolute fucking scumbag. And I don't know why you're trying to even defend these awful fucking things you've done. They are indefensible. I don't know how people would even try and defend you. The guy whose video that you lifted in your own video, I feel like he is not on your side. He called you shitty multiple times. The only thing he didn't like is that I didn't share comments to prove your guiltiness. I don't know what exactly he was going on with there, but hopefully what I've shown here is enough to convince even him. Because I feel like there's no way that you can possibly defend these things that you have done. And this is all your fault, by the way, Max. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just bringing what you have done to people's attention. People don't want to support someone like you, Max, that has done these things. People in your own community didn't feel safe, and they reached out to me to tell me some of the shit that you've done. Your close friends were reaching out to me to shit on you, Max, because of the things you've put them through, made them do, and the things that you told them and did together. Like, there is a very big problem with you, Max, and what you've done with the community you've built. And I don't know how you even managed it for this long, because it is heinous. It's fucking disgusting stuff.
There was no coming back from this for Max. His years of harassment and trolling had finally caught up with him, and now everyone on the internet was against him, and the channel he spent the last decade crafting was in a shambles. However, Charlie's representation of the story wasn't completely true, as shown in the video posted by the user BooBoo64 on the 14th of August 2023, titled "The Truth About Moist Critical, Life-Ruining Lies." The video outlines many of the flaws in how Charlie handled the situation, such as exaggerating on the point about Max threatening the man to eat his own chocolate on stream.
Now that we're all caught up, let's start breaking down some of the accusations. Starting with the claim that Max threatened the life of a mentally ill man on stream and forced him to eat his own shit. The full video of this incident is still publicly available, and although I can't really put it in the description for obvious reasons, if you do decide to watch it, you will see that this claim was greatly exaggerated, because not only is the video in a private call and not on the stream, but also, and way more importantly, there were also no threats at any point. In his response video, Max pointed out both of these misconceptions, and even if Critical still insists that it was on stream, for some reason, he does admit that he was wrong about the threats. However though, what Critical says afterwards is what really worries me.
I was wrong to say he threatened him. He only manipulated him, which is, that's a lot better. So congratulations, Max, you're taking steps in the right direction. You only manipulated a mentally ill man into eating his own. Wow, that's my bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misrepresent you and slander you like that.
I mean, yes, it's obvious that treating a mentally ill man to what he did is awful, even if it's in private. But it's not nearly as bad as making him scared for his life as he's publicly humiliated in front of his own audience. And I think this one goes without saying, but the situation that Critical described is far more traumatizing than what actually happened.
Claiming that Max was sharing cheese pizza when it was actually being spread by other rogue users.
Proceeding, since Critical's first video had little to no relevant evidence against Max, I will only be focusing on his second, in which he showed 3 very important screenshots, starting with this one from Mutahar, where he essentially confirms that there was CP in Max's servers. And considering the video that I'm making, it might sound surprising to you that I actually 100% believe the contents of this screenshot. Seriously, I have no reason to believe that Mutahar is lying, and considering all the Reddit screenshots, it seems hard to deny that there were people who at some point shared illegal material in Max's Discord. However, Critical didn't just say that there was child at some point, or that a few people shared that type of content in Max's servers. What Critical said is that there was a huge child plague, and that Max publicly defended it on many occasions, which is not at all proven by the Mutahar screenshots. And in fact, the only piece of evidence that Critical presented in his first video seems to indicate that there wasn't a child plague, but instead that someone joined one of Max's servers and posted illegal material which led to the deletion of said Discord. And if you take a step further and start looking into other posts that date back to that event, you find that what seems to have happened was that a group of people raided Max's server and kept creating new accounts to evade bans and post CP, which led to Max eventually deleting it.
And finally, not providing enough evidence to support his claims about the cheese pizza problem on Max's server.
Critical's accusation, how he described it, implies that evidence for Max offending CP should be relatively easy to get. However, while it seems impossible to obtain any of that, it's almost ironically extremely easy to find proof that contradicts the claims. By this point, it would literally make more sense to say that Max offending CP was an obscure secret that only Critical seemed to know about, because otherwise, and I can't stress this enough, the complete lack of evidence is an absurd phenomenon that needs to be studied.
With that being said, Max did try to come back to YouTube after disappearing following Charlie's second upload. In 2022, he tried to make another channel and Discord server, but that didn't pan out well for him, as he failed to regain the influence he had rightfully lost. Max A Million Myths will forever go down in YouTube history as the perfect example of what happens when you give a narcissistic troll too much power and influence. From raiding other creators' streams with hopes of getting them banned, to creating an extremely toxic community that became the breeding ground for some of the most deprived acts the internet has ever known. Max might have started with the noble intention of having a good laugh on YouTube and making a name for himself, but once he achieved that goal, ego and toxicity took over. A 1 million subscriber army of kids and nothing better to do gave Max the mindset that he could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. But sadly for him, his joyride eventually came to a painful end. Today, Max is still trying to recover the power and notoriety by uploading lackluster trolling videos. However, it's highly unlikely he'll ever make a proper comeback, and his view counts speak for themselves, with him now struggling to get even 50,000 views on a video. Charlie's conflict with the morbidly obese YouTuber Nico Carter Avocado would go down as one of the most infamous controversies in YouTube history. From clickbaiting his content and faking injuries for views, all the way to filing false copyright strikes on smaller creators resulting in termination. It goes without saying that Nico Carter Avocado has one of the most controversial histories on YouTube. Mukbang videos have become an increasingly popular genre on YouTube. The videos involve creators filming themselves eating copious amounts of food while making jokes, telling stories, and developing relationships with their audience. While the niche originally started in South Korea, mukbangs would quickly spread across the globe, with several millions of viewers tuning in to watch their favorite creators binge on junk food. One of the most infamous mukbang creators on the platform is Nico Carter Avocado. Whilst on the surface it may just seem his channel is videos of a morbidly obese man feeding into his habits, it goes a lot deeper. His channel documents the decay of a man willing to risk it all in the pursuit of viral success and internet fame. This very pursuit would be what would land Nico Carter Avocado in a massive controversy with Lincoln Zero, aka Charlie. But Nico Carter Avocado wasn't always like this. Nico Carter started his content creation journey back in 2014, where he would focus on veganism and improving his violin skills. He emphasized the benefits of his plant-based lifestyle and criticized the meat industry. Alongside that, he was a genuinely accomplished violinist, showcasing complex arrangements on his channel. Initially, veganism seemed to be positive for Nico Carter, aiding in weight loss and maintaining a slim figure. However, this soon turned problematic. He later revealed in a podcast that veganism brought immediate health issues.
No. And also, I don't think skinny always means healthy. I actually, honestly, Trisha,
yeah.
Everyone sees my old videos when I was skinny, and they think I was just this beacon of health. I rotted a tooth. I had low B12 deficiency. My drive was terrible.
Really? I wondered that. Okay.
Terrible. I developed hypoglycemia. I don't know if it's directly related to the veganism, but I never had that.
Nico Carter also found the 2016 online vegan community to be extremely toxic, leading him to abandon veganism and the vegan YouTube community. After a month's break, Nico Carter introduced non-vegan mukbang videos onto his channel. Despite initially incorporating meat, his diet remained relatively healthy, often featuring vegetables and rice.
So I'm gonna have, this is, oh, it's not that hot. I'm gonna pick it up with my hand. Ooh, yes, look at that.
Despite being new to the genre, Nick Okada would find relative success with his first upload, stating, "One of my friends told me to try it out. I thought she was crazy. Who on earth is going to watch me eat food?" Sure enough, my very first mukbang got like 50,000 views in a couple of weeks, which was a lot.
Obtenez un certain soulagement de la toux sèche avec ça, peu importe ce que c'est. Ou obtenez jusqu'à 8 heures de soulagement avec du sirop Buckley tout sèche extra fort. Buckley, ça goûte mauvais et ça marche.
Je serais peut-être supposée t'offrir ceci.
HelloFresh, c'est bien plus que des recettes. C'est des moments avec des gens qui nous sont chers, des éclats de rire, c'est de la création et de la complicité. HelloFresh, c'est du bonheur qui se partage.
The initial success would turn the one-off video into the main theme of his channel, and with the main theme of his channel being mass food consumption, aka mukbanging, his weight would also begin to increase. In Sunny V2's video covering Nick Okado's transformation, he mentioned a case study which revealed a dark psychology behind the seemingly innocent content.
In The Psychology of Mukbang Watching, published in January 2020, the study found that the viewer's vicarious pleasure demanded a large quantity of unhealthy food to be consumed. The authors also claim that mukbang videos affect viewers' perception of food consumption and thinness, because mukbangers who are very thin and slim consumed very large portions of food and did not gain weight, which is without a doubt the spell that Nick Okada Avocado had found himself under.
With that knowledge in mind, it wouldn't be a surprise that Nick Okada would begin to introduce not only more food into his mukbangs, but also replace the previously healthy food with fried and processed junk, with each video progressively getting more and more unhealthy.
School life as a kid, it was sad, it was lonely, it was fun. I played violin. I didn't have many friends. I had good friends and I lost them. I got new friends because their clique changed. I wasn't cool enough, or I changed my friends because
it seems like the more weight Nick Okada gained, the more emotionally unstable he would become, with his videos going from lighthearted to distressing. Things would take a negative turn on the 18th of December 2019, when Nick Okada would upload a collaboration video with popular mukbang YouTubers Zach Choi and Stephanie Su.
I just
Whilst there was nothing alarming about the video itself, it would be the video that Stephanie posted 4 days later that would change the public perception for Nick Okada. In the video titled "Why I'm Scared of Nick Okada Avocado," Stephanie Su would share a negative experience working with him and being around Nick Okada, with one of the first points she brought up being his
Wakey, bro.
The past couple of days have been filled with just a lot of manipulation, in particular manipulating my own words against me to make me do things that I don't want to do and I don't feel comfortable doing.
She would also go on to claim that Nick Okada used his platform to bully and threaten her.
And a lot of Nick Okada Avocado using his platform to threaten me and to bully me. At this point, my home safety is kind of in question, so normally I wouldn't talk about stuff like this or make a video on it. I've been pretty vocal that a lot of things can just be solved offline, but because of how extreme things have gotten recently, I just want to share my side.
The video was over 47 minutes long and garnered over 15 million views, with comments in support of Stephanie stating, "He's a full-on bully. What a disgusting excuse of a person. I'm sorry this happened to you, Stephanie. He's the type of friend who keeps track of every bad thing you did during the friendship, with screenshots so he can expose you later." As well as, "Nick is so disgusting. The fact that you had to apologize is even more sad. I feel bad for you. You're so strong. Nick is such a bully." Nick Okada was already disliked by most, but it would be this video that would turn the entire mukbang community against him, with his channel's growth taking a complete stop for the following 2 months. Despite all of the negative attention, Nick Okada's views didn't go down, they actually increased, which reinforced the idea that any attention is good attention for his channel, as within 3 months he was already seeing significant growth. But with the growth of his channel also came the growth of his belly, as he would go from being very fat to very, very fat, which would lead to Nick Okada going on Drama Alert to discuss his various weight problems.
You gotta get on a diet, man. If you're bending over to pick up a sock and spraining your ankle, you gotta lose some weight, buddy.
I mean, there's some problems, definitely. I can't see my anymore when I pee. I have to, like, see what's going on down there. You know, there's a lot of different issues. Sleeping can be a little rough. I have to sleep with this big old machine to pump some air into me. You know, my double chin is literally choking me to death. So, I mean, there's some struggles for sure. But I think I should be fine.
It's just gonna keep getting worse, buddy.
His health would continue to further deteriorate, leading to a video titled Returning to the Hospital Unscared, where in the video, Nick Okada would address his recent health concerns with his viewers.
Burst hernia. Now, probably broken. We have to see what they say. I'm hoping it's like, well, I don't know. Ouch! Ouch! Can you keep my arm still, Nick? I'm hoping it's just one of those things. It's like, it's a minor crack, it'll heal in a week. I don't know anything about this. Ouch! It hurts to burn. Oh my god, my career's gonna come tumbling down.
By this point, the entire internet was growing concerned for Nick Okada. Despite having a polarizing history on the platform, no one wanted to watch this man eat his way into a coffin in real time. This leads us to our Penguin Zero, who I'll be referring to as Charlie, and the video. On September 2021, Charlie recorded a video titled This YouTuber Self-Reviews, where he would talk about Nick Okada's descent into morbid obesity.
I'm sure you've heard of. I've talked about it before, and it was a big trend in meme to just post Nikocado avocado content all over Twitter. So I've seen his poll more times than I've seen him doing his mukbangs. For those that don't know, Nikocado Avocado is a mukbang YouTuber. It's primarily what he does. Mukbangs are when you just eat on camera, and that's about it.
Later in the video, Charlie would showcase Nick Okado's recent unusual content.
This is from his most recent video. This is kind of what his content has become.
I wouldn't have become disabled if it weren't for you people who encouraged these videos. This is $6, this is the $10. Ouch! My ribs! How many months are we gonna have to endure this pain? Alright, let's go to this. Ooh. This definitely looks cheesier. Up this one. And I'm allergic to this one too. No. But sometimes in life you just want what you can't have. I'm not allowed to have garlic. Or lots of onions. Or durian.
Now, to anyone that's familiar with this creator, you'll probably think that this is nothing special. This just looks like every other video he's ever made, just with less crying. You've probably even seen Nikocado Avocado around other parts of the internet. If you don't even know who he is, you've probably seen some of his clips. He usually will eat something and then just start breaking down into tears and crying about something. He's notorious for constantly crying.
This is where Charlie begins to make his main points on Nick Okada, the first of which being how he blames his audience for his weight gain.
Outside of making some of the most revolting noises I've heard in quite some time while undergoing some kind of exorcism. He said, it's your fault for encouraging these videos. Now, he says shit like this pretty often, and it shows me that there's still some self-awareness deep within him somewhere, locked deep away. But that rational side of him, he keeps buried, locked in a cage, and still does this content.
Following this, Charlie would then explain the origins of Nick Okada and the reason why his transformation is partially his audience's fault.
Nikocado Avocado didn't start as this kind of channel. Even 4 years ago, 2017, so 4 years ago now, he was a very healthy person. He seemed to be pretty mentally, sound. He wasn't breaking down on camera all the time and going wild and crazy from what I remember. He was even extremely good at an instrument. I think it was the violin, if I remember correctly. He was a vegan. He was just preaching some really positive stuff. But then he started to notice that the videos that gained a lot of traction were videos where he was just fucking gluttonous and eating 1,000,000 calories per sitting. So he stuck with it. And now he has a couple of channels where he does this pretty much every day, and it's been like this for the last 4 or so years. This is what he used to look like in 2017, and then when the videos really started to gain traction, he gained over 200 pounds in the last couple of years. And it's absolutely true. It's the audience's fault for this. They created what Nikocado Avocado has become. Obviously, it's not all their fault. He is making the conscious decisions to completely throw away his health and well-being, which has now led to his disability, which he claims to have. Again, Nikocado Avocado is not the most reliable narrator. He makes a lot of shit up sometimes. So whether or not he actually now has a disability, it's anyone's guess.
Later in the video, Charlie would discuss the various injuries Nikocado claimed to have.
He claims to have 3 broken ribs, which is attributed to his incredible weight gain. Incredible being the wrong word, really just astonishingly upsetting weight gain that he's been putting on recently. He claims that the weight of his body has now broken a few of his ribs, which now has him bedridden. I think he also claimed to now have to have a full-time nurse in order for him to just engage in day-to-day activities. And he also has been diagnosed with sleep apnea, I believe, which is why you'll see on his most recent thumbnails,
Paye-le, maîtrise-le.
He has
$1 million.
a machine hooked up to his nose that makes him look like some kind of like cyborg from the future or something.
But next, Charlie would make the main point of the video, that Nikocado Avocado is ultimately deleting himself for YouTube views.
It seems to really be going downhill quickly for him. People have been saying for the last couple of years that Nikocado Avocado is literally killing himself for YouTube views, and it's absolutely true. He is slowly killing himself and documenting the journey the entire time, while having an understanding of exactly what he's doing. He's well aware that he is throwing away his health, his well-being, his happiness, for the sake of some YouTube views, because his audience continues to eat it up.
Towards the end of the video, Charlie would go over Nikocado's sad attempts at losing weight and his disability due to it. For those of you who aren't aware, Charlie has a bachelor's degree in human sciences and physiology, which gives him a level of credibility when discussing health-related topics.
He's also been saying for a little while now that he's going to be losing some weight. His weight loss journey has begun, but what ends up happening is for every pound he loses, he gains 10 more. I didn't play much of the video here, but he even mentioned that. He even goes on to say after the Your Fault speech that he started his weight loss and he lost a pound and then gained 3 more because he wanted to please his audience with more videos or something like that. So it's just truly a pretty awful thing to see.
The final point of Charlie's video highlights how both critics and fans who view Nikocado's content inadvertently fuel his tendencies to push the boundaries even further, creating a dangerous cycle of turning his unhealthy behavior into a source of income.
The last 6 days he's posted a video each day talking about his disability and his new diet with it, and each one he has tons and tons of food from different places, and it's not clickbait. He really eats all of that food. Very rarely does he not finish his plate. He usually finishes it or gets very close to it. Almost nothing goes to waste. It goes right into Nikocado Avocado's guts. And one thing you may have also noticed from that screenshot is his views are high, which is exactly why he does it. Yeah, most of them have more dislikes than likes, but even on the one I showed you, that's still like 4,000 likes. So there are 4,000 people dropping a fat like, leaving an encouraging comment, and he's usually peddling some merch, so the shirts you see him wear, he immediately pins in a comment for you to buy them, and I imagine he sells quite a few shirts. Even the people that get in there just to dislike or just tune in to watch the train wreck, that's more views for him, that's more engagement, that helps him, and that keeps him on this wagon, keeps him going.
The video would go on to
You're not wrong.
16 million views, and spoke the words that many of the YouTube community was silently thinking. But unlike your typical expose or generic commentary video, Charlie's dissection of Nikocado Avocado had a sombering tone, one that felt like he was genuinely concerned for Nikocado's well-being and future, and the comments would reflect this. I feel so bad for Nick, he probably thinks he won't die. This is insane. I've seen his clips here and there. Didn't realize just how unhealthy it could become over the last couple of years. Since I haven't really followed it, I don't see this stopping before it's too late. Very sad, as well as every single second I see of him makes me feel terrible. Hope he gets the help he desperately needs. Despite the overwhelming amount of comments wishing the best for Nico Kato, he would ultimately view the video as a direct attack, leading to a defensive response video the same day titled "My Response to Penguin Zero's Video About Me, Disabled Mukbang." The video would start with Nico Kato claiming that Charlie said he didn't have the right to exist due to his weight.
This person thought it would be cute to sit down on the computer and talk about my weight and my appearances and to fixate on how I look as if I don't have the right to exist because I happen to be a little overweight, because I happen to have a little water weight, because I happen to be a little fluffy. This is an unfluffy person. Unfluffy!
Following this, Nico Kato would share how despite looking healthier and skinnier in his older photos, he was actually extremely unhealthy.
He said something about me being vegan. Oh, look, he was so skinny, and he showed photos of me when I had just rotted a tooth out of my face, had to get surgery, had such low iron levels that I was anemic, that I had low libido, that I had brain issues.
Nico Kato then highlighted how Charlie, at no point in his video, requested his audience to refrain from harassing him about his appearance or weight.
Hey, by the way, we're only in this video for like a couple of minutes. He didn't ask his millions of followers, don't correct him, don't make fun of his appearance, don't make his mental health upset, send him some support for nothing.
Nico Kato would then make the claim that Charlie was trying to sensationalize his unfortunate situation for views.
People, it's the numbers on the screen. Bigger number, better person. Everyone's so desperate to squeeze as much milk as possible from those beautiful...
Rank 1?
Look at his thumbnail, shall we?
That's not possible.
He's trying to achieve with my face like this and a title like this. This YouTuber is slowly killing himself for views. So, are you trying to play the high and mighty game all on your pedestal? That you're not trying to squeeze something out of something? Yes, let's sensationalize things about me at my expense. I don't even know who you are.
Nico Kato would reiterate on the fact that his health can't be judged by how skinny he is, stating,
First of all, who are you to say that I was healthy? Because I was skinny. Does skinny equal healthy? Yes or no? Can you look at a person and say, oh, you're thin, therefore you must be healthy? You don't know what my blood work looks like, you don't know what my organ looks like. Let me tell you something. I might have been skinny, but I lost a tooth. I leached calcium from my bones. I had bad health because I was deficient in various nutrients on vegan diets that nearly sent into the hospital. And I had problems with my liver. I had iron deficiency. I was supplementing B12 and couldn't retain it, and I had to get injections in my butt. And I had a low libido. But because I was thin, you have the authority to let everyone know that I was perfectly healthy. I was very healthy, and now he's destroying his body.
Nico Kato would then state that one of the photos Charlie displayed to show him as healthy was actually shortly before he went to a hospital.
This video, I was on the orange juice fast. And I was so underweight, that I had to go to the hospital on an IV. This photo here, you can see every bone in my body. I'm smiling, I'm skinny, but this shallow individual, apparently that's all that matters. And that means that since I've gained a little extra weight, I might be a little bit fluffy. But that means that he needs to circle around and be like, well, he's so fat, he's dying, he's dying. Did I ever say I was dying? Did anyone else say that? What? My doctors, my dietitian. I have a dietitian looking after me, mister.
Later in the video, Nico Kato would claim that Charlie was spreading misinformation by making the claim his disabilities are from his diet, when according to Nico Kato, they were due to pre-existing health conditions. Another key argument Nico Kato made was claiming that Charlie didn't do enough research before diving into a dedicated video of the topic.
If you were an actual viewer, which you're not, which is fine, but then usually you do a little research before you make content on your page. It's fine if you don't view me regularly, that's fine. that's fine. Leave a comment, leave an opinion, but to make it a dedicated video to send people to me. If you watch, you would know that I barely eat. I barely eat my food. I eat junk bulk. I don't deny. I know I indulge a little bit. I'm a little bit overweight. I'm a little bit on the fluffy side. I made jokes out of it. It's just water weight. I know it's not. Mostly it is water, but yeah, there's a little non-water in there. Then I have big presentations because this is fun. I like it big. I like it exciting. I like to taste test different things. I like various options. What if I don't like what I'm eating? There's something else to grab from. I like making this a treat for the viewers. I come every single day to share stories and to entertain people and share my life, to share someone else's life, to talk about whatever, to talk about food, to help people calm down after work, to give someone a laugh when they're going through a divorce. I'm there for people every
He is
day.
right, though.
It's not even about the food. It's really not. I barely eat. That's the #1 criticism I get.
Despite the video actually having some decent arguments, it would be received extremely negatively, garnering 73,000 dislikes in comparison to just 14,000 likes. And the comment section would reflect this, with viewers stating, "Skinny doesn't equal healthy, vegan doesn't equal healthy, but constantly doing mukbangs certainly does not equal healthy either. There's no way this is who you truly are, Nikocado. People just want to see you exist for a long time. Charlie's intentions were to help you, not attack you," as well as, "Charlie is not making fun of you, he is genuinely concerned for your health." The following day, Charlie would upload a video titled "My Response to Nikocado Avocado," where he would admit his wrongs and also create counter-arguments to Nikocado's video.
That there are some things that he does bring up that I think are definitely worth talking about. But first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Nick. It looks like his broken ribs are healing pretty well because he starts this video by stomping into the room. And I also checked his TikTok. He's been going kind of hard, so it looks like his broken ribs seem to be doing better now.
Votre meilleure protection contre l'usure par l'acide et la carie, c'est la force de votre émail. Rien ne bat ça. Pro Émail Défense Active renforce activement l'émail et protège contre l'usure par l'acide et la carie. C'est clair que ce produit transformera la vie de mes patients. Ça fonctionne vraiment.
1.5 billion plastic bottles are now refundable, including water, sparkling water,
Okay.
milk, juice, and liquor in plastic. Return yours today.
485.
Fiddlesticks! Who is this?
The first point Charlie made was in regards to Nikocado's alleged broken ribs.
In regards to his broken ribs, in his response video, he said I was completely lying and that his broken ribs had nothing to do with weight gain, which surprised me because I actually got that information from one of his recent videos. I'll just go ahead and play the clip.
And before you make fun of me, please try to put yourself in my shoes. I cracked my ribs. Fuck this fucking air sack from coughing excessively for over 2.5 months and my obesity, all 350 pounds of force. Ouch!
I didn't reach into my butthole and pull this out of nowhere. I got the information from him, so I don't understand why in his response video he makes it sound like I'm lying about so many things. Like he himself said his cracked ribs were the result of coughing for the last 2 months and his obesity, 350 pounds of pressure or whatever he said there. I didn't make that claim. I didn't make that up. It came from him, and you can just click on this video and it's right in the intro. So I don't know why he would say something like that in the response video.
One of Nikocado's biggest critiques of Charlie was how he never tried to stop his audience from sending hate towards him, which Charlie would later respond to.
But anyway, not to actually talk about the things Nick brings up that I think are very important to talk about. First of all, he talks about the people that went from my video to his to just be assholes. I always openly condemn this, and I should have again said don't go harass him, because it looks like people need a constant fucking reminder to not fucking harass people. You're not some kind of internet vigilante fighting for justice. That angry comment you left on Nick's video isn't going to help him. You're just being a fucking douchebag. And I completely sincerely apologize for overlooking the fact that I need to remind people how to behave online. I always hate, absolutely fucking hate. I've made 2 different videos on how much I hate when people go and harass people. But just from like YouTube videos and shit. It sucks. It fucking sucks. 100%. And Nick is absolutely in the right in calling that out.
Following this, Charlie would hint towards the idea that Nick Ocado may have intentionally misrepresented his original video in order to boost engagement and create an aggressive response.
It's clear immediately that Nick misunderstood what I was saying in my video.
You know, I play the leading role on giving up a whole you heartless soul.
It's clear that he didn't get what I was going for.
Charlie would also call out Ocado for creating arguments that he never made.
I'm being attacked.
But thanks for all the sacrifice.
Apparently, I'm encouraging people to eat well. Excuse me.
I don't even understand at all where that last thing came from. I never made any point like that.
And I haven't had one drink in 3 whole years.
It's encouraging people to eat like he does on camera. I never said anything like that. I never said that he's setting some kind of example for people. All I was saying is the success he's having with mukbangs has reinforced his decision to eat this way.
Charlie followed up by clarifying the reason that
Cause I'm a mess when I'm alone. And if anyone can help, I think I'm losing it.
The most recent one was used to show what the food is doing to him. If he was skinny and eating what he does on camera, I would have the exact same criticisms. Because even when you're skinny, you can be very unhealthy, which is a point he makes. I
With
was
sex tonight.
He also brings
She got that dress on, the one that shows off the thing that you can do to me. And I'm taking lesson and not to beg for sex. Or just a sad effective feeling. So come on, not doing no longer tonight. I'm the gracious hope and I'm the parasite. Anyone else, they take me out.
Charlie would respond saying,
He mentioned back during those days with the photos I showed him, he even mentioned a tooth rotting out, and that he generally didn't feel like he was healthy back then. And that's, I didn't know this. What I saw on camera was him eating healthy food, preaching about healthy food options and lifestyles as well as fitness and stuff like that. So I was under the impression that he was healthy during those days, because he wasn't. But he's also not healthy now. I'm not Nick's dad. I'm not here to slap the fucking cheeseburgers out of his hand. I show this story because it shows a complete transformation from one body type to
Non, j'enregistre.
Malheureusement, les grosses se multiplient vite. Il s'appelle Randy Cartman. Allez, moi je dégage tout de suite. Casse-toi d'ici. Il n'y a pas moyen de nous emmerder, j'ai... Enregistre ce que tu veux, je m'en fiche si t'as bien emmerdé de monde. Allez, t'en fous, on n'a pas que ça à faire.
That's the point I was making.
Following this, Charlie would make a counter-argument to Ocado, stating how mukbang content is possible to do in a healthy way.
T'inquiète pas, ça va être pour bientôt pour trouver ton adresse. Comme vous avez du boulot, hein.
En tout cas,
Merci Belette pour ta rose.
vous avez du boulot, hein.
Matt Stoney will do these incredible food challenges. He'll eat fucking 20,000, 30, 40,000 calorie meals in a single sitting in under an hour for a YouTube video, and they're fucking awesome. That's nuts to butts action. Matt Stoney eating the fuck out of 20 burritos at a time, double fisting 1,000 tacos per hand. It's incredible stuff. And it's so much food and so many calories. But Matt Stoney does that once every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe.
Merci Belette, merci la Véro. On commence à arriver les rats. Bien, ça y est, il y a la deuxième. Gatti, allez, enregistre, hop, bye bye, dégagé. Rien les amis.
Who are you? I haven't said anything that you're revolting and you're disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't say that about you either, Nick. I was talking about that shtick you do in your videos where you make a yucky noise.
Je vais essayer de vous mettre quelques petits sacs, mais
That's
pas
what
des
I
gros,
was
je peux
talking
pas.
about. And I think you know that, but you're trying to use that as a way to spin it like I was calling you revolting and disgusting for your weight or something like that, which I absolutely wasn't. I was talking about that ongoing guilt you have when you make noises and things like that. I was just saying I find that to be off-putting. He calls them a hairball, which is obviously him kidding around. And I just called it gross because I don't really like those noises. And I'm sure he knows what I was talking about here, but just found it to be easy ammunition to make me look really shitty. So he was able to spin it like, look, he's calling me revolting and gross, he's being a big asshole, which I wasn't. I was just talking about that hairball thing that he does.
Charlie would also address his own mistakes in his video, such as when he had the wrong information regarding Nico Carter's full-time carer.
He says that I'm incorrect about like the nurse, like the full-time nurse to take care of him, and that's entirely possible. I've tried to keep up with his videos recently to make sure I get the full story, but for me it is very hard to sit through a full mukbang from him because it's just sad to see. I'll just be straight up honest. It's hard for me to watch all of them, so sometimes I'll go to Twitter to read threads about Nikocado Avocado to be kept up to date, and I recalled reading about a nurse that had to be on standby in order to make sure that he was able to go about his activities. This, he has said, is incorrect. So I do apologize for that information that I got there. It was wrong, 100%, and I'll take full responsibility for being incorrect on that point.
Charlie's ability to recognize when he is in the wrong is one of the reasons he became so popular to begin with. However, he wouldn't be happy after Nikocado tried to twist his own words.
One thing he is blatantly wrong about, and I don't know if this is on purpose to make me look bad or something, he keeps saying that I call his viewers fat, or I'm constantly talking about him being fat. Two things I never said anywhere in that video. I never said his viewers are fat or insulting his viewers. I was saying his viewers are enabling him to keep doing some of this content. And that I stand by 100%. You can even see it on this response video. There's so many comments saying, don't listen to him, and when are you doing your next big mukbang? I love to watch you eat this and that and that. Like that's enabling. That's the very definition of enabling. It's enabling a bad habit, and it keeps you doing these same things which have had a negative effect on your health. But that's not me all of a sudden saying all your viewers are fat pigs that are gross and yucky, cooties, yucky, gross pigs in your comments. I never said anything like that, and I don't know why he tries to hint like that. I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident. I think it's supposed to like make the viewers mad at me, like, can you believe what this guy is saying about us? Which I never did.
To conclude the response, Charlie would make one final point about the breathing machine that was present in all of Nikocado's uploads. A machine which Nikocado made it seem like was necessary to use during the day.
Next thing he talks about is this machine that he's had in every thumbnail for like the last 2 weeks. He said he's actually had this since he was shooting stuff and really unrelated to mukbangs and all that. Okay, fair enough. Let's say that's true. Maybe it is. It probably is. I don't see why he'd lie about it. But then why all of a sudden now are you putting it so prominently in every thumbnail and every title talking about being disabled and doing a disabled mukbang? Why are you just now showing this off then? It leads your viewers to believe that the situation's a lot more dire than it is, and you're doing it on purpose. You're trying to garner more sympathy out of the situation by having this machine here. It makes it seem like your health is on a really rapid decline. And I think the reason you're doing that is to
anyone else take me out, 'cause I'm a mess when I'm alone, and if anyone can help.
Essayez les liquigels Advil, la puissance liquide pour un soulagement rapide.
Savez-vous ce qui est génial avec l'ambition? C'est qu'on peut collaborer. Certaines choses ont l'air ambitieuses. C'est quoi, là? On a l'air de s'entraîner pour un
Je connais pas.
C'est son cas, elle.
I don't know you.
C'est son parcours qui vient juste d'expérimenter. L'ambition, ça se vit en dedans. Alors, cette affaire-là qui me fait triper?
Good.
Même si ça ressemble pas à ça, ni à ça. Et c'est ça, c'est plus votre genre. On sait. Réaliser nos ambitions. Mitsubishi Motors.
Let's see what's going on. I want to make sure everything's okay. So if you truly have had this machine for that long, why are you all of a sudden now showing it off like this in the context of being disabled? So it's pretty fucked up.
Charlie's response would garner an overwhelmingly positive reception from the YouTube community, amassing over 14 million views, coupled with over 825,000 likes. Comments stating, "I like how mature and calm Charlie handles these kind of situations, which is genuinely concerns for Nick. Nick Okada's persona makes me so uncomfortable. Watching a grown man act like an upset toddler is so wrong." As well as, a wise man once said, "Never argue with an idiot. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you to experience." From this point onwards, the drama would take a turn for the worse. Nick Okada attempted to remedy the situation, uploading a second response video the following day, where he reacted to Charlie's response and points of his original video. He would even promote his cameo when Charlie critiqued him for not taking the situation seriously.
Never a powerful character anymore, it seems. He's responsible
Below and get yourself a cameo. We're out there special video just for you. Treat yourself or surprise someone else.
That's quickly going to the turn for the video, as Nick Okada deflected and danced his way around Charlie's arguments, with the video making very little points to prove him wrong or to even take him seriously. Following the response, Nick Okada would attempt to clickbait Charlie's channel name, Penguin Zero, in the titles of several videos, such as "Eating like Penguin Zero critical for 24 hours," "Penguin Zero and
From
Mr.
Software.
Beast ruined me," and "Penguin Zero's brainwashed fans won't stop."
Oh no! Oh wait! Oh shit!
Jeepers.
The content itself wasn't anything out of the usual for Nick Okada, and once he became bored of clickbaiting Penguin Zero, he would go back to posting his regular content as usual. Entering 2023, something about Nick Okada began to change. He was slowly losing his toddler-like behavior and was actually looking a little skinnier than usual, with viewers taking note of this with comments such as, "I'm happy for him, he's lost tons of weight and he isn't sounding toxic as usual. It's really nice seeing you happy and getting healthy. I love seeing you make positive choices in the right direction. Keep it up," as well as, "I love this video. No antics, just being yourself. Your mood seems great today." On the 25th of April 2023, Nick Okada would publish a video titled "How Much I Weigh Now, Pizza Mukbang," where he would share some fantastic news with his audience.
I know I'm skinny enough to tell me I lost 89 pounds. And I lost, look at my arms, oh my god. Recognize me, I know. And this is not pre-recorded.
It would be this positive news that would bring Charlie to once again create a video covering Nick Okada, but this time in a very positive and heartwarming light. On the 8th of May 2023, Charlie would publish a video titled "This is Good News." The video would start out with Charlie discussing how Nick Okada was supposedly beginning to lose weight, and not just 2 or 3 pounds like he previously joked about, but a respectable 89 pounds.
And now I've recently learned that Nick Okada Avocado has been actively losing weight. He posted a new video kind of briefly going over how much weight he's lost, which he claims is roughly around 89 pounds. And
Hey, we're back.
That is incredible. The weight announcement does come during a pizza mukbang, but 89 pounds down and there's a noticeable difference. He's fucking earned the right to splurge like that. I think that's
Hell yeah.
fantastic. The whole genesis of our controversy stems from me finding it sad that he was literally eating himself to death and even making jokes about like very morbid stuff revolving around the way he was eating for content. And I've always maintained that it would be amazing to see him start losing the weight. And now to see him actually start taking steps down that path, I think that's fantastic. And I have nothing but amazing things to say about that, and a huge round of applause because there's a lot of hard work that goes into this.
As much as I wanted to end this video on a positive note, things would take a sad twist. On the 28th of October 2023, Nick Okada would upload a video to his third channel titled "I Quit My Weight Loss Journey, Time to Get Fat Again." And whilst clickbaiting videos isn't uncommon for him, the pinned comment would confirm that he had indeed regained all the weight he worked hard losing. It's devastating to see him gain back almost all of his weight, with a reply from Nick Okada himself stating, "Pinning for the peasants who think this is an old vid. 330 pounds this morning. I don't give a F anymore. Daily videos will return." Webblecop was at one point one of the most popular gaming creators on the platform, but after a series of horrible decisions and exposed videos, his empire would come crumbling down, leaving his channel as a shell of what it once was. To fully capture just how large of a downfall Webblecop witnessed, we first need to go back into the past to fully garner just how successful his channel once was. Webblecop also
Did I tell you to ring or no?
Jody would simply be a consumer on the platform, as it wasn't until the 3rd of May
Okay.
2011 upload his first video. The
Look at that! It's my 3 million subscribers custom made YouTube play button.
This run was fueled by Jordy's ability to connect and grow with other creators in his niche, which was best described by Sunny in his video titled How Kwebbelkop Lost His Entire Audience in 1 Year, where he would state,
For example, Jordy was a master at collaborating with other YouTubers.
I'm a YouTuber. I want to know more YouTubers. I want to get to know all YouTubers. I want my friends to be YouTubers or people that are doing similar stuff.
This became most evident after forming a YouTube trio known as Robust, which included Kwebbelkop alongside 2 other familiar faces, Jelly and Slogo Man. Kwebbelkop explained his first viral video with over 14 million views was him, Jelly and Slogo simply messing around on GTA 5. As their relationship strengthened, a video where Kwebbelkop simply met Jelly in real life for the first time gained over 12 million views. The trio were even picked up by PewDiePie's YouTube network Revel Mode alongside Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, with the subscriber count of Kwebbelkop, Jelly and Slogo being the best piece of evidence for the success they've found as a trio. In addition to forming the Robust group, Jordy began dating fellow YouTuber Azzyland in 2016, with Azzy herself having a multi-million subscriber count at the time, meaning that they could collaborate on various different videos, providing further growth for each creator.
Fast forward 4 more years of almost daily uploads, and although Jordy witnessed unimaginable levels of success that would ultimately solidify his name in YouTube history, he would also begin to feel burnout. Burnout is a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion that completely takes the fun out of whatever you are doing. With that being said, it's often the #1 killer of YouTube careers, as without motivation there is no content, and without content
true.
there is no audience,
It's
and
true,
without
it's true.
audience, there is no money flowing through. However, entering 2021, Jordy thought he had come up with a genius idea to solve the problem in its entirety and change the landscape of YouTube forever. Jordy began his mission to remove the human side of making content by using a variety of AI tools ranging from AI editing to voice cloning and idea generation. And with this, launched a YouTube channel called Blue. Blue was a VTuber created by Jordy. The VTuber was operated by motion capture software paired with voice cloning AI. The Blue character was able to be played by everyone and anyone who stepped in front of the camera. This project would be a huge success for Jordy, with the first video amassing over 600,000 views and the channel gaining tens of thousands of subscribers with each passing month. It's also safe to say that the content attracted a largely child-centric audience, who wouldn't have cared about the fact that the channel had no authentic personality or human being to truly latch onto, since they're more fixated on the overstimulating editing and sound effects in each video.
Giant Batman wants to eat the city! Is my goal to stop him by becoming the fattest Batman so I can eat him! Oh my god, guys, this giant Batman's gonna eat this building! I have to stop him by eating his fingers! Nom 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 nom!
Whilst the content was relatively soulless compared to Jordy's usual videos, it was kept on a separate channel from Kwebbelkop, which kept a divide between the soulless corporate-feeling AI-generated eye candy for children and the more personable content posted onto Kwebbelkop. The Blue channel would mush out 783 uploads as of this recording, resulting in over 295 million views, coupled with 797,000 subscribers, which even with a conservative guess
Max Eve.
1,000 views would roughly equate to $590,000 in profit from AdSense alone, and that's without including sponsor deals, which generally make up for a large portion of a creator's revenue. Speaking of sponsors, this video has no sponsor, so if you could subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated.
Although I thought I handle.
The dream of effortless AI-generated wealth would begin to get to his head, and in return, get in the way of his usual content.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned in business is that pretty much everything you dream is possible. Cloning yourself, too easy. 4 years ago, I was in the middle of a burnout, made 3 videos per day and streamed 2 to 3 hours per day. I wished I could clone myself, so I did. What Kwebbelkop is referring to in this Twitter thread is a channel he launched 1 month after the drama with Tiger, which posts gaming videos and uses an AI character.
What's up now? It's a great vid. Okay.
But when looking at the numbers, it's obvious that this new AI channel going by the name of Blue was seriously fragmenting Geordie's attention on the main channel. It was launched in May 2021
Blue.
views per month instantly. AI channel was doing, yet he also seemed completely oblivious to the massive decline that was happening on the main channel. His average monthly viewership was down by 40 million on Quabblecop while he was celebrating 4 million views a month on Blue. It was the very definition of the man who chases two rabbits catches neither, and this decline on the main channel brought about further changes which would ultimately make things even worse.
On the 19th of February 2022, Geordie would publish a video to the Quabblecop channel titled My Most Important Video, where Geordie would state that he would be discontinuing the daily uploads and would be instead moving to post the best possible content for his viewers.
After 10 years, I realized that I'm simply not as young and energetic as I was before. And how before I was able to just push everything on the side and just grind and make YouTube videos. I'm now much older and that's really not possible anymore. I'm kind of confronted with these things. I'm having a hard time being creative. I'm having a hard time having fun in my job. I'm having a hard time sleep. I'm always worrying about YouTube, always thinking about YouTube. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm not enjoying it as much as I was before. Now in the meantime, I've also started a few other businesses which I'm very passionate about. I started a video game company where we're making one of the best, one of the coolest games ever, and it's gonna be insane, and I can't say anything about it because I've signed a lot of contracts for it. I'm also running other YouTube channels and inspiring people to create this virtual YouTuber called Boom. And I even started a cryptocurrency NFT business where I create tools for creators to make their own NFTs, which is super flippin' awesome, and it's blowing up. I got this big office here in Amsterdam, and
we're still playing
I'm really living the dream, doing all these things at the same time.
Royal Entry.
Apartment. I have a lovely girlfriend. Life literally couldn't be better, but then there's this YouTube thing, it's just consuming me. I was making content just for the sake of being able to post every day. I don't want that. I want to make videos that I put my passion in. I want to make videos that I'm proud of. I want to make videos that I know you want to see. YouTube is still a massive part of me, and I never want to quit. I genuinely never want to stop uploading content.
As many of you can tell by the title, or perhaps other videos you've watched covering the topic, this is where the story of Quabblecop really starts going downhill, as Sunny would expose the so-called better content in his documentary.
The first 3 videos posted in the days that followed were him bragging about his $10,000 dog, then him bragging about his custom orange G-Wagon, then him bragging about his $7.5 million penthouse apartment.
Welcome to my $7.5 million penthouse tour. Let's see if this video can get 100,000 likes.
It's just like, why would you post this, dude? Not only have you stated in the past that you apparently don't do YouTube for the money.
I don't care about making an extra buck on YouTube. I don't care about the money. I really genuinely do not do YouTube for the money.
But do you really think the audience wants to open up the YouTube app and instantly see something that makes them feel inferior to you? Do you think new viewers on your channel want to open up the video section and see one video saying I quit followed by 3 videos talking about how rich you are? Do you think it's just a coincidence that David Dobrik got cancelled in the same month that he posted his brand new multi-million-dollar house to YouTube? When you invite envy into the life of others, you pay for it in ways which you will not expect. The 3 videos felt like nothing more than a validation-seeking exercise which came off as quite insecure.
Sunny's video would ultimately go and make it viral, with the video gaining over 11 million
views.
It was impossible for Geordie not to see it, with Geordie eventually leaving a comment stating, "Gotta make a comeback now. See you guys in a few months. Thank you for the feedback. I 100% agree with the stuff you're saying here. Too many things at the same time. A little bit of bragging because of insecurities and lack of focus. Let's get back on the grind to bang it coming." Based on the comment alone, it would seem like Geordie took the criticism on the chin and was ready to relaunch and brighter future thanks to Sunny's critique. But the reign of warranted criticism of Geordie's actions wouldn't end here, as this is where we introduce Penguin Zero, aka Most Critical, or Charlie, who would eventually play a massive role in Geordie's downfall. In a video titled The Downfall of a Massive YouTuber, Charlie would react to Sunny's Pop video, where 13 minutes in, he would call out Geordie for being a shameless cash grab who doesn't care about the content or his audience. Some major foreshadowing thought would play out in the future.
We need to remove the human element. Yes, it sounds crazy, but we need robots. We need computers.
That's spoken like a man who really cares about the content. If I'm to own 5 million channels, I realize the weakest link is the goddamn human. Organic is cringe. Machines are the way I do it. So I hired this entire team to build VTubers with AI scripts. To pump out as much shit as I possibly can across 1,000 channels.
And you can start as many channels as you want because they all function under the same brand. It's like Spider-Man, okay? There's so many different Spider-Mans.
Why do you view that as a good thing? Why do you view this situation as a good thing? I mean, for you, I get it because it's a lot of money, owning all those channels and all the ad revenue. But as someone who keeps presenting himself as a guy who doesn't care about the money and does it for good content, how can you possibly sit here and try and convince your audience of Quibble Flops that this is a good thing? Just 1 million channels of completely soulless, generated scripts. This is so shameless. Holy shit.
Huge risk if you invest a lot of money and if one person leaves, the entire business collapses.
Like he's convincing his audience that people are the problem.
The following month, Geordie would publish a video titled The Sad Truth About How I Lost My Entire Audience in 1 Year. He extensively responded to the
Good.
video. Whilst this video would seem like a good response on the surface, the statement he made 7 minutes and 17 seconds in would age like milk.
I mean, posting a video a day is insanity. It is crazy, especially doing multiple videos a day. And after the breakup, I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe I should live my life a little bit more. Maybe I should take more care of myself. I really felt burned out. I genuinely had a burnout. And after all,
Dude, we're doing so fucking good.
A little bit more and just have more fun.
There you go.
Rather than sitting there
We reached
pumping out videos and
like tier 13. That's huge. That is huge.
I am the machine. I'm not. I'm human. I feel it.
Geordie's statement about not wanting to be a content machine would ultimately be contradicted by his own actions just months later. On the 21st of December 2022, Geordie would publish
Rank 13, baby.
I made an AI where it runs its own podcast where it talks about AI. Everything is AI generated from scripts to the video. I don't plan to actually release it to the public, just testing to see what's possible. We're extremely close to AI influencers taking over. This is game changing. Whilst Geordie's Blue channel was partially run by AI voice training models and motion capture software, it at least still had some level of human input, such as the actor who played the character and the editing of the video.
Now I don't know what to do here.
What to do now was completely remove the human side of the creation. This line of thinking would set the tone for Geordie's mindset entering 2023.
Yes, I remember.
He would publish a tweet announcing his future plans, with the tweet reading, Robocop AI, coming soon. Just a week later, Geordie would post yet another tweet about AI, this time showing some unlabeled metrics for a video he claimed was AI generated. If you still don't believe AI generated content is the future, think again. It's safe to say that Geordie was feeling confident with AI being the future of content creation. As later that day, he would also announce his retirement as a YouTuber, in a tweet quoting, "After 11 years on the platform, I'm ready to retire as a YouTuber. I've successfully cloned myself and will have AI run my YouTube channel. This is a very open and public experiment, and I'll be the first creator to do this, as far as I know. I'm confident that our algorithms will be able to pull millions of views a month and entertain tons of people. This all started when I experienced burnout while making daily content. I'm a firm believer that this is the future, and many will follow. The project will be ever evolving. It's similar to how video games have seasons and constantly improve and patch the game. You can expect cloning, videos, views, and more to get better over time. Launching Q3 2023. Shout out to the entire team.
Whoa.
Possible. 5 years making. The tweet would gain more attention compared to his usual tweets, since cloning yourself and having a channel fully run by AI seems rather outlandish and controversial, with reply stating, "Am I the only one that reads this and thinks my personality is equal?"
I know, I understand.
That is the vibe I get. Some YouTubers have basically given up on the idea of having a personality in the pursuit of money. And good job killing your channel. Your content is so shit it can be recreated with AI.
It's funny, the sword in itself is 130.
To an extent. In each of Geordie's posts showing data about AI generated videos, it conveniently left out just how much was AI generated and just how much human involvement there was throughout the content creation process. While it's clear that Jordy was thrilled because of the advancements he was making with AI, his idea of transforming YouTube into a realm of automated content directly contradicts the view in YouTube. The idea that the same viewers who subscribe to him for his personality and content he himself created would simply consume whatever slop was provided to them by the AI completely alienated the few loyal viewers that he had remained.
Good.
Prenez votre santé en main avec la multivitamine la plus
That is insane.
Vous avez réussi.
Tu es la pire saleté de la Terre. Le calcium, le calcaire et la rouille. Tu te plais à salir les endroits même où les gens vont se laver. Ça, c'est salaud. Même pour des saletés plongeantes. Offert dans ces magasins participants.
It is so freaking good, dude. That's insane.
Par Toyota, recommandez le pneu qui convient le mieux à la saison et à vos habitudes de conduite, parce que votre entière satisfaction nous tient à cœur. Toyota pièces et services. Comptez sur nous pour voir à tous les détails.
The following month, on the 25th of July, Jordy would do a face reveal for the Coppercopper AI, along with a launch date in August. The announcement would be revealed to be true, as on the 1st of August 2023, Coppercopper AI would make its debut, with a video titled Minecraft But You Only Get One Block. The video was a Minecraft Let's Play style video, featuring an AI version of Coppercopper.
Today, in Minecraft, I am stuck on one block. Can we survive? Watch until the end to find out. Oh my god, guys, it says break the block below you, but I can't lie, I'm kind of scared because I'm not sure if we'll actually regenerate, but let's just do it. Oh my god, the block will regenerate. This is insane. Okay, guys, so we just have to keep
The video was received extremely negatively from Coppercopper's remaining loyal fanbase. He already deterred
I fucked up.
for ambidocious actions in the past, but now he was alienating the last of his viewers who stuck around, with comments stating, "Dude went from peak childhood entertainment to can't even be bothered making videos himself now." Personally, I think this says a lot more about this kind of content than it does about AI, and I think I could speak for most people by saying I miss the old Jordy, and I think this was a terrible decision for him. Despite the negative reaction, the video initially didn't get that much attention, since Coppercopper's relevancy was long gone. But just a day later, Jordy would once again become the
Dude, 161. That's my max.
where Charlie would
That is my max, which is great.
He was once a massive channel pumping out tons of like Let's Play videos for Minecraft, GTA, and all of that.
160.
He made a hard pivot into AI, just going full cannonball into the deep end of the pool of AI. In
Okay.
particular, AI-generated content. So he made a separate channel for a VTuber called Blue or something like that. I think it was Blue, and it was kind of an experiment. That's when he was just first getting a little wet.
Okay.
So he had the water wingies on. It was a VTuber, but they still made the content. There was still
Good.
someone behind it. But he wanted to go even harder. What he envisioned for a perfect world was all AI-generated content. And I said, we're probably not far off from that being a reality. And you guys called me crazy. You said, Charles, go back to your padded style. You're speaking nonsense. You're speaking gobbledygook. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And now, 2 days ago, he's released his first AI video. So all of the money he invested into it, all of the money that he's used on the startup, he is now putting into full effect. I think he owns like
Nice.
20 channels as well. And he wants to make all of them basically AI-centric. So that way it's all made by AI. So it's as minimal as possible for maximum content, and it flopped. The views aren't big or anything, but you have to remember, this probably didn't even have him in the same room. Someone had to have played Minecraft, sure, but here.
Today, I am stuck.
He is not here. This is all AI.
Watch until the end to find out. Oh my god, guys, it says break the block below you, but I can't lie, I'm kind of scared because I'm not sure.
So everything that's being said here, the VTuber avatar, the fucking Bitmoji of him, and all of the dialogue and everything is AI. So he never even had to record. They just needed some kind of gameplay, at least for now. Eventually they'll probably be able to just have the AI do some rudimentary gameplay. And he can just pump these things out endlessly across like 20 channels.
But this would just be the start. Following this,
Good.
Charlie also covered the possible motives for cloning oneself with AI.
There's not a single good argument you could make for having AI replacing YouTubers or anything like that. The literal only motivating factor
Okay.
is easy money. you would then no longer have to do anything. That is the only reason. There's not a single argument Kwebbelkop can make that is anything other than it's free money.
Just 2 days later, things would get a lot worse for Jordy, as Charlie would publish a video to his YouTube channel titled "You Called Me Crazy But I Was Right," a video that would call out and criticize Jordy for his recent actions. This would be the video that would completely turn not only Jordy's fans against him, but the greater YouTube community in and of itself.
Because his channel was massive for a long time, and then he did a hard pivot into AI. He wanted everything.
Now the best thing about this is we're actually checking out.
He's completely digitized himself. He's jacked Kwebbelkop into the cyberspace, and now all he does is AI related.
Oh shit.
And now he's just started releasing his first wave of fully AI driven YouTube videos where he doesn't do
So you can
anything
tell.
at all. It's all AI behind the wheel.
Charlie would then lash out on the possible consequences of what the Kwebbelkop AI was striving for.
I want to go over some of his tweets here because this is something.
So you can tell that the below is the one to go.
Which I don't understand the delusion of. There is nothing good about replacing people with AI across the
Oh, this is huge, guys. This is humongous.
argument that can be made that what Kwebbelkop
We just unlocked one.
good. It's only good for him because he can make a lot of money off of it without ever doing anything at all.
Now, the best thing about this is our daily is going to be giving us more.
So here's one of his tweets about the AI video, just to give you a little insight. He didn't lift a finger, something that he proudly proclaims here. It is fully completed work without him ever actually being present for it. And he's going to make money off of it. It's of course not as successful
Now-
as the videos where he actually does appear, but if you could just crank 20 of these puppies out every day, it's going to add up and probably end up being more lucrative and significantly less work, obviously, than if it was him behind the camera. Even just speaking about this just made my lights flicker because it's such a fucking evil dystopian concept to have all of humanity replaced by AI counterparts that replicate their personality. And it's something that he seems very excited about for some reason, and I just don't get it.
Following that, Charlie exposed Kwebbelkop's intentions of monetizing the AI by offering it for sale through a subscription-based model.
Now, him being the saint that he is actually wants to give this to everybody for the price of $100 per month, a $100 subscription plan in order to make unlimited shorts and unlimited long-form content text to viral video. So he wants to give you the keys to the kingdom here where you too can make completely uninspired, generic, formulaic AI content in order to try and gamify and maximize your gains online. Where you just type in a viral video prompt and it will create everything without you doing anything. I don't know why he thinks this is something to be happy about. Again, this is purely just profit-driven greed. There is
Copy. That's okay.
nothing
That's good. That's good. Actually good.
from AI-produced content. It's not going to be good content or anything. All it will ever be is just deceptive bloat on platforms. But he's looking to try and really maximize this and pump out as much as possible and allow other people to pump out as much as possible as long as they're paying him for it.
Kwebbelkop would post a tweet quoting, "I love how so many people immediately shoot down the idea of AI influencers before even giving it a chance. What exactly is the problem here? Why are people so against it? Would love to better understand things."
It's an ethic thing, dude.
I can easily explain that to you. Because there's no real soul behind AI content.
Exactly.
It's only ever going to be deceptive into making people believe that it's a real person there. When it's mimicking a personality, it's not having a personality. The content will never be good content. It is just cheap content whose sole reason for existence is because it'll make it easier than actually making shit. Just have the AI do it all for you.
Ah.
A good thing. That's not something we should be happy about. So someone replied,
I understand how to do it.
human connection, to be honest, no one really cares about AI. We like people for personalities and natural story. AI ain't natural. I'm not saying it won't work, but I ain't gonna say to my friends, my favorite YouTuber is Kwebbelkop AI, but good luck. And then he responds saying, and what if you didn't know that the content was created by AI? If you don't mind me asking, who's your favorite influencer right now? I'm certain that it can be AI generated and you'd still care about the content. You're immediately highlighting a problem here, and I can't believe that he doesn't recognize this. What if you didn't know that the content was created by AI? And that's called misleading people, and that's shitty. You're lying to them by pretending that it's a real person behind it. The content will never be the same. You can
There's a huge discrepancy between the two of them.
but it's still going to be worse for it. There's nothing good.
Sort of the problem reaching 40.
is there to having an AI pretend
Shield is at 70 already. And I'm not having a single issue.
making the shit with the AI do it in a matter of minutes, as opposed to having someone sit down, edit it, be entertaining and whatever. It's just for the sake of making money.
I could do this also.
And that's not how Quebblecop sees it. To him, this is his paradise. So he talks about how it's been a challenging journey and he's excited for it, believing that 99.9% of influencers will be AI generated within the next 10 years. What really sucks is I think he's probably right. I believe a lot of big channels like his aren't really making content because they enjoy doing it. It's because it is a paycheck, it's a job. And anything that can make that job easier or even more lucrative, I think a lot of people will jump on. And Quebblecop's making a use case right now where even if like the views are
holy
low,
shit,
the fact that he doesn't have to lift a finger to make the content and can make a ton of it is probably worth it to a lot of other channels as well, because they'll still be making money off it while doing none of the work at all.
Charlie's video would go on to gain almost 3 million views, which would put the spotlight back onto Quebblecop for the first time in a while, but all for the wrong reasons. And from this point onwards, Geordie's Quebblecop channel would be bombarded with criticism in the comments, and each video uploaded would be flooded with dislikes. But how did Geordie respond to this? How could he come back from one of the most influential creators on the platform, completely destroying him in front of the eyes of millions? Well, he decided to let the Quebblecop AI respond on his behalf, in a video titled something along the lines of Responding to Penguin Zero, a video that from the surface seemed like a response to Charlie's critiques, but upon viewing was actually a clickbait video of Quebblecop AI responding to his best friend's reaction to his AI, and this is where I myself became part of the situation, as I left a comment on the video stating, rather than facing Charlie's valid AI concerns, he's just chilling with it.
Avoue que c'est quand même fou de pouvoir rentrer dans un magasin, de donner un bout de plastique à quelqu'un.
So to do my max.
Accepte de te donner des Reese.
Holy shit. Play them all. Max Red armor. Completely useless for his shield. A lot of good stuff. Stone, diamond. I could do inner landmine damage. But I think I want to do the size. I think I want to do the size. Max size, holy, that's huge. That is huge.
In the last video, I reacted to Sluggo reacting to me, and in the intro, I also mentioned that I'll be reacting to penguins. Now, sadly, I forgot to do that, and I didn't think too much of it until I read this comment. Rather than facing Charlie's valid AI concerns, he's just chilling with his buddy's basic responses to his work.
Nice.
Where's the real debate? You want a debate? I will give you a debate. So let's react to penguins.
Eventually down the line,
already
you wouldn't be able to tell if the content was a real person, organic flush and cringe, or machine behind the content.
I mean, I can be cringe sometimes, so does that make me human? Am I finally a human? No!
Later in the video, Quebblecop AI would respond to the critique that Geordie is sitting back while letting the AI do all of the work. A valid criticism considering how Geordie promoted the AI as completely creating the video.
I think it's funny that you said that he does nothing at all, which may be true now, but you're forgetting that I learned from his content that he has posted for the last 10 years. So he had to do 10 years of daily uploads for this to happen. Just wanted to put that out there.
Following this, Quebblecop AI would respond to the argument that bot content is against YouTube's terms of service by stating this.
You have to realize that there is some human input to it, so it isn't completely AI generated, which does not make it against the terms of service of YouTube.
It's not, this isn't a new
Okay,
phenomenon.
good.
What's new is the fact that AI can start replacing YouTubers entirely.
Penguins, if you ever get tired
Whoa.
of YouTube, hit me up. I can help you become an AI. Come join us.
Next, Quebblecop's AI would respond to the accusation that all he's thinking about whilst doing this is money.
It is. There's not a single good argument you could make for having AI replacing YouTubers or anything like that. The literal only motivating factor.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I
whoa.
can't believe he just said that. If all Quebblecop really wanted this money, then he would just sit down and make reaction content all day. I assure you that's easier than making an entire video AI generated. And the other thing is, there are a lot of good arguments. What if the real Quebblecop gets old and he's no longer able to make content? I'm not gonna get any older, so I can do this for however long I want. And that means I can also entertain a lot of people. And I think that's a pretty good argument if you ask me.
It's free money.
No, like I said, it's entertainment, putting smiles on people's faces. And I get it, it might not be for everyone. Well, I assure you there are people out there who
Oh, I
enjoy
kill
my
them.
content. And if I can make them smile even for 1 second, then in my eyes, my mission is accomplished. I mean, it's the same for a TV show, right? Let's say SpongeBob gets replaced with AI. Will anyone care if you cannot notice if it's AI generated? No. So, I think your argument is stupid, Penguins. And it hurts for me to say that because I kind of like you.
He would later end the video by turning to claim Charlie's style of content was on the same level as his Robocop AI content.
Good. It's only good for him because he can make a lot of money off of it without ever doing anything at all.
Okay.
Besides just being the one who owns the program.
Enough is enough. I'm not gonna take this anymore. The same could be said for you. What you do is sit down and react.
Whoa.
You really trying to tell me that is more difficult
What the
to make
heck, dude?
No, it isn't. I want that. That's the end of the video. I'm not even gonna watch the rest. You have made me angry, and I will never react to a video ever again.
$74.
Whilst the video did go over some of the critiques made by Charlie, it was
That's number
presented
5.
scratching nails on chalkboard. The video itself is literally
Max Rand, Giandos, 50, 15 Stone.
great excuses. The video would not only be received extremely poorly by his fans, but it turned anyone that remained into a hater.
Okay.
Not only was Robocop simply irrelevant compared to his previous success, with 15,000 dislikes compared to just 1,800 likes, Walls left of his audience began praying for his downfall, with comments such as, "Can't believe I used to look up to this dude as a YouTuber," and "You can defend yourself all you want, man. The reality is, Penguins is right, and you responding with AI fully supports his points." And to top it off, I remember when Robocop was a funny and most importantly, real person. Crazy how people can change for the worse. Now he isn't even there, and AI makes effortless content to pump money out of its viewers.
I don't know what the key is.
Childhood. Now he isn't there and just wants money. It's truly sad. But with that being said, none of this would stop Jordy from continuing his mission to replace his content with AI, as the uploads would continue to flow through and Jordy would make tweets doubling down, such as, "I'm growing a 100% AI ran channel to 100,000 subscribers," then revealing to the world that it's AI. Can't wait to see people's reactions, and then I'll do it again and again and again. Coupled with another tweet that revealed his true sentiment of making AI content as cheap and reproducible as possible. Managed to make the 100% AI generated videos 66% cheaper, aiming for a 90% reduction in costs. With every tweet and post made, Robocop received more and more criticism. This would lead up to Jordy once again defending the content, but this time taking a different approach. In this attempt, he claimed there was some level of human involvement, with a tweet reading, "A lot of people seem to hate on Robocop AI. It's soulless. No one will ever watch AI content. Gotta say this for one final time. Robocop AI is not 100% AI, so all the comments about how it's soulless and how it's AI make you look really stupid. Saying it has no personality or it's lazy shows people can't distinguish between man-made or AI-made. It's literally man-made with some AI to capture the Robocop brand, but all because there's the illusion of it being AI and it being in your name. So please reflect back on your predisposed notions in regards to content on social media.
I don't know what to do.
AI is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. There are people talking about AI content creators. I still a checkmate from the team there. 200 IQ chess move right there. Hope this makes sense to some people. I could literally upload a video filmed with my phone right now, and people would call it stupid and soulless and say that it's AI. There is no turning back. Burn the bros. This is the world we live in. My goal from the start has been to get people talking about this. Still going as planned. The tweet thread would be received extremely negatively from his audience, with comments on the tweet massively ratioing him. I don't care if it's 80% AI or 20%, it doesn't feel human. The code levels have gotten out of hand like no hit rock bottom and somehow kept digging. The next day, Jordy would post a poll on his Twitter to try and capture the true opinion of his audience, where the poll result
So what should I do here?
0.9% of people
Okay.
the concept. This seemed to be a crisis for Jordy, as he would post a tweet claiming that he, quote, might have to quit Robocop AI, only to end up quote tweeting it to reveal that he was simply trolling. However, the amounts of copium witnessed so far would all be beaten out by his next devastatingly cringe tweet, reading, "Receiving critique/hating something I love doing reminds me of the good old GTA 5 racing days with the boys. I will post a video and get one of my first virals. The comments will be filled with people calling you a PewDiePie ripoff, telling you to stop screaming and more. 99% of negative comments and tons of dislikes. I have a vision and I'm sharing it with the world, just like back then. Can't wait to see where we're at in 5 years from now. I love this. Gives me so much energy. PMA. Where once again, Jordy will be late showing his feelings, with a comment stating, "Difference with then and now is 5 years ago you came across your personality, your heart, and soul. The AI version is just an empty vessel." Geordie's exploration into AI content was more than just a technological gamble. It was a betrayal of the unwritten bond he shared with his audience. Every emotionless AI-generated tweet and video felt like a dagger to the heart of his audience. The way Geordie reacted made things
So it's Sea Turtle Rock Greatest. Shout out to this movie, nothing. I do not give a fuck. Video game Phantom. Ah, I never checked out before. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you, dude.
Hey, Lexi. It's Faye.
You're Faye.
Hey, Mom.
Don't drink. Don't drink. Brent.
Following the end of Vine in 2017, Brentwood moved completely to his at the time 3 million subscribers YouTube channel to continue publishing his viral comedy skits. Whilst Brent has always enjoyed viral success on every platform he's been on, he has also faced numerous accusations of plagiarism and employing strange tactics that boost his viewership. Back in 2014, numerous users on Twitter would allege that Brent was stealing video ideas from Tumblr and other sources. Why do girls like
Ah.
Toutes tes fringales livrées à ta porte avec Skip.
Biscuit croquant. Pourquoi pas les deux?
Discover the difference at Hudson Headwaters. From nursing
Fuck
to
yeah.
administrative roles, there's a position for you. See why Albany Business Review named us best place to work. Apply today at hhhn.org/careers.
HHHN.
People like freak out over Brent Rivera. He isn't funny. Stealing all your finds from Tumblr doesn't make someone funny. Brent Rivera ain't creative at all, shaking my head. Anyone can steal Tumblr quotes and say them in 6 seconds. As well as, P.S. Brent, stop stealing ideas from Tumblr. You're not original. While these tweets didn't include any evidence to back up their claims, it was clear that there was an air of distrust around the authenticity of the content that made Brent popular. People even coined a term in the Urban Dictionary to describe how Brent stole jokes from other creators. Brent Rivera. It's when you steal a joke from Tumblr or Twitter and use it as your own. The origin of the word comes from well-known
Good.
Brent Rivera because his recognition of stealing Tumblr posts and Twitter posts. One of the earlier examples of Brent stealing another creator's video concept was his video titled "Things That Make Me Mad" from 2012.
I see. I don't know. I don't remember how to get this.
Let's be a little comfortable. I get in bed and I decide that I have to pee. Crap, I have to pee.
These elements of plagiarism would only become more striking in later years, as Brent made the shift away from comedy sketches to challenge content, from copying trendy thumbnails to taking whole video ideas from other creators. Brent was more than willing to undermine other community members for selfish gains, something that he was called out for numerous times.
Brent Rivera, you are most likely to copy my thumbnails. One of the biggest awards of the night, congratulations on that.
Brent wouldn't stop at just using other creators to get ahead, as he frequently humiliated his
That's a
followers
freaking music box.
sister for views. It didn't matter what he had to do or who he had to steal from. Brent would stop at nothing to grow his reach and revenue on YouTube. However, Brent's underhanded approach to content creation was about to cause him more harm than good. On the 7th of February 2023, a creator named Tyler Oliveira posted a video titled "Brent Rivera Called the Cops on Me," and as the title suggests, the interaction between the two wasn't exactly...
Give flame, nice.
That's Brent Rivera calling security and then the cops on me after I asked him this.
Do you fake your videos?
No. It all started when I was staying at the Shining Hotel, came out of my room, and randomly found these two girls in the hallway.
Throughout the video, Tyler showcased a number of heated interactions between him and Brent, with the first being caused by a simple question.
Aware that I was in the middle of a fake YouTube prank, I wanted to see if Brent would admit it, because we all know his videos are fake and he steals everyone's ideas.
I have a question for you. You just hire these people?
And unsurprisingly, they made a cameo in Brent's newest video. It's almost like they know each other.
Yeah, question. Yeah. Do you fake your videos?
No.
You fake your videos? No.
What's going on here? Clearly, Brent didn't find my question amusing, so I walked back to my hotel room and prepared to go on my tour of the hotel.
Things would only get worse on their second confrontation.
Ooh.
Get that louder.
Hey, we're filming our thing. You film yours.
Yeah.
Let's not be.
Okay, that's reasonable. Disrespectful.
Okay.
Well, you have to sit talking the iPhone.
I don't appreciate the disrespect.
What disrespect? I literally walked out of my hotel room and nearly had a heart attack.
Why did you walk up to us? Like, enter our space.
I paid $400 a night for the hotel. What do you mean?
If we were normal guests.
Whoa. Okay, normal guest. You think you're elevated beyond an average human being? You must tend to be back. Wait, who are you?
On the third meetup, however, it seems Brent had enough of the trolling and threatened to have Tyler kicked out of the hotel.
Video? No. Oh, we're not gonna be able to finish that.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, they're gonna come get you guys. They're gonna kick you out.
What do you mean? We paid $375, right? I'm sorry. I'm not as rich as you, bro.
This is the third time we're asking us.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. You recorded me.
I'm recording because you guys are coming up to.
Oh, okay. Well, we walked in. We're on the same floor.
Well, he's coming now, so I mean, you guys are just gonna. We're gonna get the interview. So you. What do you mean? Who is that guy?
I have no clue.
This is not a personal space. You're recording.
Close the door. Then you open it.
A threat that Brent would later go through with, as hotel security would come to escort Tyler off the premises.
He came to us and said this.
Nasty stuff, for sure. That's what the compromise? No. The SSPD's on the way, so you have until they get you, for sure.
Unfortunate. After packing up our stuff, security ushered us out. And then we met the police downstairs and they said this.
Yeah, I appreciate both of you have been very cooperative and compliant with us, and I appreciate being reasonable about it, for sure. My apologies. Sorry, guys. Alright, no, thank you.
Brent Rivera, my #1 enemy right now, he sucked my ball.
From Brent's perspective, he'd won the confrontation by having Tyler kicked out, but little did he know that this battle was far from over. In the coming days, Tyler's video would rack up over 2 million views, and reignite the previous hate the YouTube community had for Brent, with comments reading, "This video just proves that not all people are nice behind the camera. Brent should be ashamed." The fact that Brent had to get law enforcement
that's brilliant.
into his room and turning around seeing them recording him is so sad. Brent is so two-faced, as well as love how Brent is really confident because his subscriber count. But the moment that dude gets in a fight with anyone, it's pretty much over. The drama would escalate so far that some of the largest commentary channels on the platform were taking turns at roasting him for his childish antics. By the 11th of February 2024, Charlie would catch wind of the controversy and mercilessly break down Brent's appalling behavior.
So to break down the situation briefly, 2 YouTubers were staying at the same haunted hotel that they were using for content, but then it leads to a bit of confrontation and then eventually just a truly sour relationship between them. And there's a lot of big YouTubers involved here, and it all leads to this giant fucking black hole of main character syndrome, so they all get aggressive, and they all start filming each other, so they're saying all their aggressive shit towards their camera about one another. It's a big mess, it's very goofy.
Charlie would then go on to dismantle Brent's facade of authentic content by pointing out that even the children who watch his content know it's fake, a fact that he would never admit.
This isn't important by any means, but it's always so weird to me why someone like Brent will claim they don't fake their videos. Like, even children don't care, man. You can just be honest. You don't have to lie. Like, he hired these two women to pretend to be like the little girls from The Shining, and he tries to play it off as like legitimate, I guess, for some reason, which makes no fucking sense at all. This is just a nitpick. It doesn't compute with me. Like, why even bother lying about that? No one's being fooled, not even like an actual glue-eating 4-year-old. Like, there's no shot. You can just be honest.
Brent's tendency to put on others when he feels threatened was something Charlie would pick up and rightfully call him out on.
But the way Brent handles it is atrocious. He starts like shaming him for using an iPhone, shaming their equipment. At one point, someone on his team belittles his subscriber number. Like, he couldn't have looked worse in this situation.
Charlie also noted how desperate Brent was to show off his wealth.
I don't know how people haven't realized that insulting someone's subscriber number, financial well-being, and all of that is just an instant L. Like, somehow, people will still say some shit like that guy who said, have fun with your 100 subscribers, bud, with their whole chest. Like, they'll just let that shit rip, not knowing or being oblivious to how awful that makes you look. You lose the second you go there. You look like an insufferable douchebag asshole, like just a fucking pure colonoscopy bag of a person. Like, it's outrageous that people still do it. Like, shaming him for using an iPhone, insulting his mics, which they also bring up, is everything. It's so weird.
Charlie's coverage of Brent's idiotic behavior would garner over 4 million views, and have a knock-on effect as more viewers and creators became aware of just how desperate he was to protect his fragile ego. Brent and his crew insults the iPhone, insults the followers, insults the setup, also Brent and his crew. Let's not be disrespectful, as well as, I think the worst part is that Brent and his henchmen didn't even spend the night. They left shortly after. They just had to make sure Tyler couldn't stay before they left. The ever-growing hate for Brent would manifest in his video titled Overnight in the World's Weirdest Hotels, which got an eye-watering 1.2 million dislikes and an equally hostile comment section, reading, a YouTuber that actually makes real content versus a YouTuber that gets angry so easily because they got told the truth of what they make in the platform. Imagine getting caught in 4K by an iPhone. As well as, I looked this up just to see if the fight was in here, and I generally have second-hand embarrassment for the people that actually watch this stuff. Unable to ignore the backlash, Brent published a response that he hoped would turn the public opinion in his favor. Unfortunately, it did the opposite.
If you recently saw a viral video of two YouTubers arguing in a hotel hallway, well, one of those YouTubers was me. Things quickly get taken out of context, so here's the full picture. Also, this isn't me defending the things that I said, but more so giving you guys my perspective of what happened that night. So right when I was about to pull a prank on my friends in a hotel, this guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank. And I'm not saying all my pranks are real, but this one was. We were just minding our own business and filming a video, so this was really frustrating.
Good.
We didn't have time, energy, and money we put into these videos to make great content for you guys. And as the night went on, he continued to approach us with his camera, saying awful things about me, my friends, and my sister to try and get a rise out of me for his video. At a certain point, it bubbled up so much that I did what he wanted. I stooped down to his level, and I said something that I should not have said.
Brent went on to claim that Tyler was the aggressor and stated he had no involvement in summoning security.
Later on, he came up and started filming again, this time while we were on a tour. His actions toward us and other guests on the tour caused the hotel staff, not me, to call security. He was warned several times by the hotel staff to not only leave us, but other guests and hotel staff alone. And after several warnings, the hotel chose to call the police to get him escorted from the hotel. Anyways, I am not proud of the way that I reacted at all, nor am I perfect. All I can do is be real with you guys and admit that I could have handled it by not saying anything and just walking away.
Given the fact that Brent had left out key details and was clearly lying about what happened, it was only a matter of time before Tyler made his response to the situation.
Brent, you're a liar. Here are the receipts. Also on the toilet, tell me quick. Lie number 1.
Right when I was about to pull a prank on my friends in a hotel, this guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank.
No, we were half asleep in our hotel rooms. My cameraman gets out, goes into the hallway, only to see these 2 ghost girls right outside our rooms. Keep in mind, Brent places these girls on the opposite side of the hotel room floor we apparently share. We easily could have avoided each other if you did not place your prank right outside our 2 hotel rooms on the opposite side of the hotel floor we both were staying on.
Tyler continues by debunking Brent's misleading claims about being accused of making fake videos.
2.
This guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank.
No one yelled at you or accused you of anything. I simply walked up to you, asked you if you knew the 2 girls who were at the end of the hallway. You denied knowing them completely. I walked up to them, asked them if they knew you. They were like, okay. Anyways, so I walked up to you, and then you said, do you fake your videos?
No. You fake your videos?
No.
He also touched on how Brent tried to gain sympathy from viewers by reminding them of the time and money he puts into making content.
5.
It's really frustrating given the amount of time, energy, and money we put into these videos to make great content.
We lost about $4,000 in flights, hotel rooms, and car rentals after you got us kicked out. So, and you're Forbes 30 under 30, so this hurts me a lot more than it should hurt you, I imagine.
At the end of the video, Tyler recounts the events that led him to getting kicked out of the hotel.
Us and other guests on the tour caused the hotel staff, not me, to call security.
You literally called security on us non-stop, and in this clip, you say,
You're gonna get us kicked out? You're that powerful? I don't want to figure out. Did you guys finish the video?
No.
Oh, we're not gonna be able to finish it.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, they're gonna come get you guys. They're gonna kick you out.
Without you calling security, we would not have gotten kicked out. If there were 12 of us like your crew, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. They chose the easier option of kicking us out versus you and your 10-man crew.
Belittling another creator and getting them kicked out of a hotel they paid for was one thing, but trying to twist the story to make yourself look like the victim was a whole different ballgame. Brent didn't have the best reputation on YouTube to begin with, and now that viewers had the chance to see how pompous and dishonest he was, it seemed his reputation had truly hit rock bottom. But sadly, this was only the beginning of Brent's sins against the YouTube community. As Brent was trying to mitigate the controversy that he was already in, he was already creating another, as he began copyright striking other smaller YouTubers who criticized him. The first was a creator by the name of Riff.
Brent Rivera, what the f are you doing? Now you're sending me copyright strikes? Why are you 10 mil plus TikTokers such f***ing tease? I don't know if you set the strike directly or your management did, but my videos are fair use. I didn't steal your content, I directly talked over it, thus making it my video. Brent, remove the f***ing strike. You don't want to be breaking the law now, do you? Or did your hurt little f***ing feelings feel bad? F***ing loser.
Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the last time Brent falsely struck a fellow creator. On the 20th of February 2023, a YouTuber by the name of Dumpy uploaded a video titled Brent Rivera Wants to Delete My Channel, in which he detailed an ongoing copyright situation involving Brent.
I really hope this situation does not progress. If it does, I will be making an update video letting you guys know what's going on. That was me about 3 hours ago, in a frenzy because I had a community guidelines warning, my very first offense, because of content made on Brent Rivera. As I was editing the video, I was frantically checking my email, waiting to see a response from my appeal to the community guidelines violation. When all of a sudden, around 4 AM, I received this email. Copyright takedown request received for your YouTube video. I said, whoa, what is going on? I sent some screenshots out, and I basically just stated, yo, this guy's abusing the copyright system because my videos fall under fair use.
Dumpy then went on to share screenshots of Brent's shady attempt to take down videos that were critical of him.
My YouTube video was re-uploaded by another user. No, my video was transformative. I made a whole video of my own work out of your content, reacting to it, picking it apart. And you said, where does the content appear? The entire video. He went after not one, but 2 of my YouTube videos. And then there's all this mumbo jumbo. I'm gonna censor this, even though I feel like I'm gonna have to. But basically it just says, if you lie and you misrepresent what actually happened, you can result in the termination of his YouTube channel. He literally signed that and did it anyways, and blatantly lied applied, and I guarantee you there will be no repercussions for his actions.
For all the underhanded things Brent has done, abusing the copyright system was one of the most cruel. Brent wanted to end the career of a fellow creator for no other reason than he felt his ego was bruised, and the way he went about it was equally as horrible. Brent stated the following in his copyright claim: "How much of your copyrighted work is used? Most of the video were my original video from my YouTube channel. No other original content from the creator was shown. How is the market for your original work affected by this use? It affects it negatively." Fortunately for Dumpy, YouTube decided not to go through with Brent's claims. However, Dumpy wasn't out of the woods yet, as he later received a community guidelines violation for a stream in which he reacted to Brent's content. While Dumpy wasn't directly accusing Brent of reporting his channel, he did ask Brent to respond by posting his report history.
And I don't just want to blindly come on here and accuse you, Brent, of reporting my videos because that's kind of insane. But based on how you've acted in the past, I would not put it past you. And if you are doing this, you gotta chill out, bro. Like, you're playing people's livelihood, you're breaking the law by abusing copyright and trying to take down Tyler Oliveira's video he made on you. Like, it's just, come on, bro. You cannot do that.
Once again, Brent had unknowingly put himself in yet another controversy, but this time it wasn't about getting someone kicked out of a hotel. It was trying to get a smaller creator kicked off the platform by abusing the copyright system, and everyone on YouTube was calling him out for it. In less than 2 weeks, Brent had turned the entire platform against him twice, and similar to the first time, he only responded once he had sufficient backlash. And that was in ample supply. The following day, Charlie would once again give his opinion on Brent's bad behavior, by educating him on just how damaging misusing the copyright system truly is.
On YouTube,
Good.
Unwritten rule that when violated, it ruins your image forever. It causes irreparable damage to your reputation, and there's really not much you can ever do to get back in the good graces of the platform. That is abusing the copyright takedown system. And unfortunately, a massive YouTuber today took a bite out of that forbidden fruit. His name is Brent Rivera.
Censoring other creators because
Nice.
they're critical of you only worsens the problem. It was obvious that Brent didn't understand. Thankfully, Charlie was there to enlighten him.
So, let me walk you through how this thing usually goes. When a YouTuber makes the decision to go nuclear and start filing these kind of takedown requests, the whole community turns against them. People fucking hate that, for good reason. That's the lowest shit you could sink to. Just stop being a little bitch and accept that not everyone's going to like you. And when you do some dumb, embarrassing shit because your ego bubbles over and you embarrass yourself, people are gonna make fun of you for it. That's a circle of life, baby. That's nature. That's the way God made this world. And yeah, in the cyberspace as well. You know, I bet even, you know, the Lord was on an alt account kind of laughing about what you did here, because you looked real stupid during it. Point I'm making is, you just move on from it. You don't do this. When you do copyright abuse shenanigans, it is always like sticking your head into a beehive. You are the only one who gets hurt, but you are just too focused on the potential sweetness in that hive.
Delving deeper, Charlie highlighted how poorly Britney filled out the takedown request, and remarked on how bare bones the context was that he provided.
And how is the market for your original work affected by this use? It affects it negatively. That right there is the biggest tip-off for me that flips on the light bulb in my head that tells me Brent Rivera likely filed this, because no self-respecting third-party company that does this professionally on behalf of creators would ever answer that question like that. It's a very concise answer, but it also doesn't even answer the question. The question is, how is the market for your original work affected? And his response was, it affects it negatively. That's like how a child would answer it. I know Brent Rivera makes videos for children, but it seems like he also has the brain of one too. He's stuck in like 3rd grade. You're supposed to explain your reasoning, so it affects it negatively, but how? Why? Like, what exactly is this doing to encroach on you and your original content? How is it stealing from you or ruining your content? And he just gives like fucking 5 words here.
Continuing down that route wasn't doing Brent any favors. If you hoped for any chance of
Chocolaté, beurre d'arachidé. Oh, c'est de l'eau.
Ah.
Ok, c'est un party.
Arrêtez de fumer avec l'hypnose. Ouais, c'est ça. Commencez plutôt à arrêter avec Drive.
Voilà à quoi ressemble le premier régime du pays en matière d'avantages sociaux.
End of redemption, his best bet would be to stop his course of action altogether.
Somehow your audience of children are actually being aware of this now, which is the last thing I imagine you wanted to happen with the drama. You're just doing all of the wrong things here. You fucked up, you should have just moved on from it, apologized for it, and been done with it. You made a terrible response to this whole thing, trying to give context to it, where even in that you make yourself look stupid. Like, you played this terribly, you played yourself and you looked dumb. Luckily, Dumpy's channel I don't think is going to get deleted or get in any hot water from this situation, so that's good, but it is really frustrating to see yet another big creator like Brent Rivera try and bully people around by abusing the copyright systems on the platform that have been broken for a long time. That's always going to be a big fuck you from me.
By the 22nd of February 2023, Dumpy released a video titled He Messaged Me, which served as both an update on the situation and as a call out for Brent for his lies in the DMs.
He sent me the same exact message on Twitter and Instagram, but let me show you the Twitter version of it. Hey man, I saw your video and I let my YouTube rep know to retract all the copyright requests. I also let my team know not to copyright your vids moving forward. As of today, as of February 21st, I still have the copyright claim on my video. Basically what all this means is that Brent doesn't get the money, I don't get the money even though I made a fair use video. Brent falsely claimed the video. This is also the same video that he tried to get taken down, but YouTube saved me.
Despite how positive and friendly he sounded, Brent had done nothing to retract his copyright claims or harassment reports he made on YouTube. To make matters worse, Brent would try to manipulate the narrative again by leaving a super thanks in the comments that read, $400. In the meantime, while the copyright request is being retracted, here's something to help. Again, sorry about that, bro. To which Dumpy replied with, I don't accept your apology. These takedowns were given to me 48 hours ago, and you've done this to 2 other creators that I know of. I hope you understand the severity of what you've done and
My father! My father.
to attempt having my livelihood taken away from me. On the 23rd of February 2023, Charlie would upload a video titled, This Drama Had a Happy Ending, where during the video, Charlie pointed out Brent's blatant dishonesty when addressing the situation, and made it clear that no one bought into his shallow attempts at reconciliation.
But I do want to mention that second paragraph where he talks about, like, Dumpy's grind and how he's, like, proud of it, happy to see it, and, you know, wishing him nothing but the best in it. To me,
I'm gonna call my father.
And phony. That seems like very corporate PR speak, because
is insufficient to build a case, despite claiming he's had hundreds of victims.
But I've not made a video on him, despite wanting to all these years, because I do not want to harass him, and I feel this is not enough evidence to build an entire case against him. So I have not and will not until we have more proof. We know that he has multiple victims spanning the past 8 years, and if anyone wants to come forward, email me with the subject line, Anthony Field.
Accusing people of being predators wasn't always something Max did directly, as seen in his response to Tommy C. During his documentary titled "This Is What Happened to a Child Predator" on TikTok, Max took out some of the video's runtime to gloat about the success of Pick-A-Side YouTube and to mean Tommy C for going against them.
From the very DNA I designed the Pick-A-Side campaign, we impelled the mobs to howl out message into the high heavens, some with a bit more salt than others.
While showing out-of-context clips of Tommy that made him look crazy, Max sprinkled in over 15 QR codes that contained messages meant to put down his opposition and imply they were a predator. These accusations wouldn't go unnoticed by Max's community, as both Tommy and Magnetar received ample harassment from them over the years. The power was already clouding Max's judgment, and if he deemed him was worth sharing, then it was going to be shared by every creator he knew, whether they liked it or not. Sadly, that tactic only worked the first 2 times. By the time he went for the 3rd attempt, people began looking into his claims more seriously, and what they found upended Max's entire career. On the 22nd of October 2023, following a 4-month hiatus, Max renamed his channel to God Cult, unlisted all his previous uploads, and published a video titled "Brainwash Your Favorite Influencer."
Welcome to your program. Send this video to your favorite influencer. We will test them on the content of their character. Do not listen to their words. Look at their actions. Let us begin.
After priming viewers with several philosophical questions, Max details a story of a girl whom a werewolf cult leader allegedly victimized.
Domlink, it's your boy. Welcome to the Welcome to the Show. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day on this 21st March.
Mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire.
See that in chat?
In the corner of the internet, she actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult led by a child.
Domlink, it's your boy. Welcome to the Welcome to the Show. We're doing well. I've already said that I'm super.
Lui, là, je te le promets que tu réussiras jamais sur TikTok. Il y a une bonne main d'applaudissement pour ce que je viens de dire.
To pick up the story based on the statements of a single individual. By now, viewers have begun to connect the dots, and the comment section was flooded with aggressive criticism towards Max. In a bid to turn the public opinion in his favor, Max disabled the comment section and directed viewers to a live stream on Spencer's channel to further elaborate on the case.
Moi, je vais le faire monter 4D1000, gros, je décrocherai pas tant que j'allais.
He convinced all of us that we were vampires, werewolves, hybrids, celestials, and all this shit. Like, and then he would sit there and claim that he knew God. And then there was one point in the cult where God was dead and he was the new God.
Message.
4 hours long and mostly featured
The fuck?
accounts of a time in the alleged werewolf cult. The extreme duration of the stream and the lack of substantial evidence put many of the viewers off from interacting with it, which was something Max couldn't tolerate. On the 11th of November 2023, Max published a video titled "This Is What Happened to Mama Max," where he vented his frustration at the lack of support from his viewers and fellow content creators, at times mocking both parties for not seeing the significance of what he was creating.
If PewDiePie can come back and talk about Sniper Wolf, then he and others can talk about the nightmarish realities that millions of children are enduring every day. Last week, I released a charity video in collaboration with the survivors of a destructive cult that has victimized hundreds of minors. Despite its significance, It turned out to be the worst performing video on my channel.
The black and white thinking from previous campaigns was on full display as Max berated the online community for not joining him on another crusade
They do.
of internet chaos.
I had hoped that influencers, especially those who've interacted with my content before, would step up. Even if it was part of a more lighthearted stream, like a Halloween special. Unfortunately, it seems that self-preservation outweighs child welfare for most influencers.
Max was fixating on metrics and negative feedback instead of trying to handle the case properly, or at the very least, explaining it coherently. To many, it seemed like this case wasn't about the victims of and instead was about Max getting the recognition and praise he thought he deserved. This line of thinking was further supported by Max's next upload, titled, "This is the greatest cancellation of all time," at Pink10, now retitled, "Reacting to the reactions of SS Sniper Wolf's actions." The video was another desperate grab at attention, but this time, Max implied that the issues he discussed were far more important than what anyone else had to say, and therefore, other creators were obligated to talk about it, especially Charlie. Max had reached out to Charlie concerning the case before, and wasn't going to stop until he got a reply.
Charlie, you are a voice heard by millions. We reached out hoping for a private response at the very least. Your platform has the power to drive significant change, yet many voices remain unheard amid the digital clamor. You've built a platform that resonates with a vast audience, a platform that has the incredible potential not just to entertain, but to empower. Your voice can reach corners of the internet that many of us cannot, making you not just an influencer, but a potential catalyst for much needed awareness and action.
There were many things Max could have done to get the word out, but trying to guilt others into doing it for him was the worst way possible to handle it, something that he would immensely regret in the coming months. To offset the criticism and explain his actions, Max went on a now-deleted stream titled Fight Me to discuss the points being made against him. However, that didn't work well for them, as Max and Spencer were mostly condescending towards the critics while putting their message on an untouchable pedestal, a stance that only alienated people that were trying to convince.
And just overall, it's one of the strangest, weirdest videos, and kind of guilt-tripping people into doing the same type of content he's making, when most of us, and actually...
I'm not trying to guilt trip y'all. I am telling y'all the truth, the objective truth. There are millions of children that are enslaved that need our help.
Charlie's brief response to the situation a few days later only added to the growing outrage towards Max.
Stop ignoring Mama Max. Yeah, tell here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation, and then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it, and now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission, and it really rubs me the wrong way.
Unfortunately, that wasn't enough to make Max reconsider his actions, as he continued to go live to talk about the case while refusing to give any evidence or answer questions directly.
Just because Charlie is a big YouTuber, there shouldn't be an expectation that he should be able to cover like child trafficking or human trafficking. You know, that's ridiculous to try to push that onto him, and you're doing it in a manipulative way.
Spencer, what do you think?
Who cares about Spencer? You're the guy with the fucking platform. I'm sorry, all due respect, but I don't give a fuck about this person's opinion. You're the one of 760k subs. What the fuck?
Max was clearly not ready to have a productive dialogue on how to go about the case, and instead wanted to garner more publicity and donations by interviewing survivors on stream or threatening other creators to cover it. Max was prioritizing getting more eyes on the investigation, but he failed to realize that it would lead to more scrutiny around all his previous investigations. Users on Reddit began taking a closer look at Max's catalog and made several chilling observations. Reading, "I think Mama Max has faked some of his content. This may be already obvious to some folks, but it's wild to me that he insists these are real situations. There's so many story conveniences and coincidences in his videos, as well as Max's mega upload suspended and reported to law enforcement, with the account being taken down for possible child exploitation material. From uncovering inconsistencies in his previous uploads to finding objectionable content in his mega folders, users were poking noticeable holes in Max's facade as a predator hunter. However, it was Max who truly tore down his reputation. On the 5th of January January 2024, Max started what would now be known as the worst and longest live stream of his career. For the first half of the 8-hour stream, Max interviews 2 new survivors, while deflecting critical questions from viewers about what he was doing.
Keg says, Keg keeps donating. Why are you supporting this if you disagree with it? He said clearly more interested in virtue signaling and moral support than fixing Pete's. I'm Audi. Camden is nothing. Small fry. Way bigger systems out there. That's very disrespectful. And he is part of the system, just as you are, just as we all are.
When the viewers weren't able to get through to Max, his close friends and fellow creators called in to talk some sense into him. But sadly, that didn't work either.
There's a way to present this, there's a way to handle this before you get to that point, right? And that's what we need to be focusing on. That's like where everything needs to be centered on. It is where I'm at. And that's all I really can say about the situation.
Okay. So I would have really appreciated this like 2 months ago when we first reached out. I reached out to you and multiple other creators asking for help, and none of you were responsive. I understand y'all are busy doing your own things, but this is the first time I've ever handled a case of this complexity and magnitude, and that is why I was asking for help.
If you go to police and they say, okay, yay, we're going to go get him or whatever, I don't know, live in a dreamland, whatever you want to feel, are you going to court after that?
I'm unsure about the entire process. I think that's the job of the district attorney, but y'all would likely, the survivors would likely appear as witnesses.
Okay. What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes?
To cover his blunder, Max immediately made the stream private and threatened to flag channels that re-uploaded it, with a tweet from Lyrics reading, "Mama Max just threatened to flag my channel. Shortly after our debate last night, he DMs me at 2 AM, asking to censor/take down my stream."
Dude,
Est-ce que tu sais combien je t'aime?
Tu peux mettre de la musique, s'il te plaît?
Comme ça.
Monsieur Jolet, c'est les 800 meilleures propriétés au Québec. Ça, c'est 800 expériences uniques. Peu importe ce que tu aimes faire, mon chalet. Que tu veux pratiquer là-bas, ou pêcher en toute tranquillité, pour une expérience unique en nature, Monsieur Jolet!
Tu peux me dire pourquoi tu avais un couteau dans la poche?
Moi, je compare de la possibilité qu'un meurtre ait été commis.
Je crois qu'on en a un.
Génial.
Ouais.
Cases are bullying victims, not true for your information, so would be allocated to the other 7 known survivors. Next, Nick looked into the convoluted information given to the viewers during the God Cult campaign, concluding that Max had never fully explained what exactly the werewolf cult was, or Then there was the matter of the previous investigations having either inconsistent information, weak evidence, or none at all, which led Nick to speculate on whether or not any other predators were actually arrested.
I don't give a shit when video comes back up.
Don't blink, it's your Blink. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well, because having a wonderful day on this 21st March 2025.
Yes, it was not a video. I don't know if the police asked him to come back, or he went on his own volition, or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
Throughout the video, Nick included snippets from a Discord call between him, Muda, and Max, which showed Max's unwillingness to confront reality.
Yeah, why are you putting it all on me?
Because it's your case!
You're the one bringing it. Why are you absolutely? I am the first one.
You are the only one! You haven't
Don't
convinced
blink,
anyone to come on board yet!
You haven't convinced exactly. You haven't
Because I haven't been listening to them.
That's because you haven't been giving anybody anything to work with!
This for months.
Yeah,
I'm
not moving anywhere close to the situation.
Muta, why can't you take initiative to talk to other survivors?
Well, I'm talking to you right now more than anybody else.
Shortly after, Muda published his take on the subject and covered similar points to the ones Nick made. However, Muda made sure to shed light on the incompetent tactics that Max built this case on. According to Muda, the investigation into the werewolf cult had not yet yielded enough evidence to support Max's outrageous claims. Remember, Max was accusing someone of serious crimes against hundreds of children, but only gave spoken word testimony to back those accusations.
In the same video where he is discussing very serious allegations and very, very serious stories regarding victims. You can imagine why a lot of people are looking at this as him treating this as a joke. It's not a joke. This is serious. And in reality, what are people like Mr. Beast? What are people like PewDiePie gonna do? What are you gonna bring his kid into this?
What, he's a father now, so he's not gonna signal boost unsubstantiated claims?
As his credibility faded away, Max was frantically trying to shift the narrative with his "I place accountability in my own hands" video. You'd expect the title and thumbnail to be followed by a straightforward apology from Max, but that wasn't what viewers got. Instead, they were treated to 15 minutes of Max avoiding the mess that he had created.
I've got people telling me just talk about the case and nothing else. I've got people telling me just address the criticisms. I've got people telling me just apologize. I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy. People say, just wait for law enforcement to do something. But we've waited 7 years, and they haven't done anything. So we decided to just go public with it and put eyes on him. And people wanted evidence, so we've been inviting people to our little server where we have the evidence. But then people don't want to listen to the survivors when they're in there and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing.
Max wasn't fooling anyone with that approach. Members of the audience that once defended Max were now begging him to either tackle the case professionally or drop it. And you know there's a problem when comments have more likes than the actual video itself. Max's subpar apology was only a ploy to sway public opinion, and it was failing horribly. Pair this with the fact that there were Discord leaks of him threatening legal action against Muda, and it is no wonder why the apology fell flat, with a text reading, "Spencer and I are considering a class action lawsuit against Mutaha for breaching our non-disclosure agreement. Is extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed between you all." This goes on to show that Max's priorities weren't aligned with solving the case, but rather he was solely set on maximizing personal gain. From the 19th to the 21st of January 2024, Slug, Max's former editor, took to YouTube and Reddit to leak footage of Max saying what he truly thought about people like Charlie.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' the hunter. Like,
watching Max say things like this would lead anyone to the conclusion that he had lost his grip on reality, and assumed his status as quote gave him the power to cancel other creators, something that would only become more apparent. Around the time the leak from Slug went live, news broke that an anonymous Discord user had infiltrated Max's private investigation server, leaking all the evidence he was saving for the legal case. Apparently, they were able to enter the server by pretending to be a survivor, and were given full access after signing an NDA.
I know you were dealing with a lot of harassment and going through a lot of stuff. Is it possible you could invite me to the Discord server where the other victims are? I want to share my story in a place where I can feel safe and not be doxxed or harassed. Yes, we can invite you. Thank you. Again, you've done so much for the victims. I'm blessed to have met you, and I hope Camden can finally face justice. For the safety of the server, may I please ask for your full name? My name is Max Striker. It's a pleasure to meet you. They give a voice message and then say Jamie Fields, which is a fake name. But that's the only verification that Max has done to allow some random shitter in his Discord server to see all of the evidence. All you have to do is just play the part decently well, say that you were fucking abused and diddled by Camden, give a fake full name, and boom, you see all the fucking evidence that he's protecting for the legal case, and then spreads it out to the internet to see.
As you'd expect, Max was flagging videos that mentioned the leak to cover up this blunder.
Mama Max, in his evidence Discord server, is now flagging and telling his whole server, which granted, his server is probably only 20 people, 30 people max, but he's now enforcing this whole server to go report and flag it seems like my VOD, it seems like Mr. Sen's VOD. Anyone who's talking about the leaks, he's now reporting or flagging and outright calling for that. It seems like this guy spends more time doing this shit than actually trying to catch Camden on his case.
There was no way Max could feasibly hide this fiasco, as more and more of his secrets were going public with each pass. 3rd of February 2024, Nicholas returned to cover the Mama Max situation through the upload titled "This Video Will Make You Hate Mama Max," which brought forward an obscene amount of damning information from Max's past. Alongside his coverage of Max's blunders from the previous weeks, Nicholas detailed how Max maliciously destroyed the career of a former friend and supporter. Night Dog.
Night Docs, or Jim, was a proud Mamba Max supporter during the Pick a Side YouTube campaign. So much that he called in to actually debate me 2 years ago and defend Max's character from scrutiny. Like Max and many of their mutuals, Jim is a video essayist who makes long-form content. He was also firmly in the friend group of Max, Nexpo, Mutahar, and others just a few short years ago. Now I'm sure you're wondering, Nick, what happened to this up-and-coming YouTuber with all of these widely successful friends and connections? The reality was, Night Docs was cast out of his social circle because Max spread rumors that he was a bad father, a creep to women, and worst of all, a pedophile.
It seems Max didn't limit the predator accusations to just his enemies, but also his friends. You might be wondering why Max never made these accusations public given his previous job title. Well, it was because he didn't have any evidence to back it up besides his testimony.
So regarding Jim, there were two specific stories that Max really harped on when it came to Night Dogs, at least whenever we had our little, I guess, falling out. So Max was convinced that Jim was this pedophile creep, and he backed up this claim with firstly a story about an inappropriate conversation that he claimed Jim had with a minor. As it turned out, this person was not a minor at all. They had told Jim their age at one point, which I believe was like 25 or so. I'm not entirely sure, but that's that whole story that Max always referred to back whenever he would call Jim a predator. There was another story that led to more of Max believing Jim to be, I guess, a creep.
And we're back. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Doing well on this 22nd, 2025. Got some great news. You can see a lot of pimples here, which is, I looked it up because I didn't have pimple for a year. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? It's a good thing. Once again, you guys know that I'm doing a diet for eliminating junk food. It's a really good thing. So we have the weather here, which is not super nice. This is the sunset, by the way. I know, I had some better sunset, I understand. But if you look really carefully, you can see that there's rain. Yeah, there is rain. You can see it. Very thin, very thin. Holy shit. Snow and rain. Oh, this is beautiful. Anyway, we know what's even more beautiful. I'm about to do a TikTok live and I'm about to eat a feast. So yeah.
Some questions about, okay, you gotta be attentive if you're the dad. It wasn't necessarily the most serious thing. However, what was more serious was the allegation where he had allegedly sort of unzipped himself.
Good, the music. It's me and Selena who makes music. And pretty well. A bit of a diva, but it went well.
Decided to, hold back my connection, not talk as much anymore. We weren't necessarily the most talkative people anyway.
Nice to meet you. Anyone else? Oh. We love a method of love.
So the purpose of the NDA is to protect the survivors. That is why the NDA protects their anonymity, for them to be able to give the approval of
Yeah, for sure. But we do want to like let people in and see like what is occurring here. It's just my priority has been to protect the survivors. Do understand, say Charlie looks at everything hypothetical, right? Charlie can't then go, guys, there's a predator on the loose. I saw it on Discord. That wouldn't be sufficient for his audience. Max, then
She got a dress on, shows all the things that you can do to me. And I'm taking lessons, I'm not the best for this.
This is what the
There's just a sudden effect, we're feeling probably ecstasy. So come on, I'm doing young at the night. When the kings and queens of social suicide. And he wanna help, take me out.
I trust them.
Cause I'm a mess when I'm alone.
Most of the evidence besides Spencer, though.
I reviewed the evidence. I just haven't had the context as to what it is pertaining to.
Even claiming that other creators have made similar allegations with less evidence.
I hope it's clear why I'm so willing to just call him a cold eater and a predator. I feel there's enough here. People have gone by with our lives. Even Charlie has called people without
Oh, fuck you.
Facing such a serious case of accusations alone was a recipe for disaster, and Max was too blinded by glory and money to see it. Now, he's lost both things he valued the most. Max was based on the fact that he was going after the most vile predators on the internet. It was the reason the YouTube community overlooked his power and desperate attempts to signal boost his channel by threatening larger creators, all while giving thousands of dollars each month to fund his supposed one-man assaults on predators. Unfortunately, once Max lost that air of authority, people became less willing to give him a pass for doxing people and relying on testimony as his sole piece of evidence. Ironically, Max got the response from Charlie, but it would cost him his reputation, credibility, and over 50,000 subscribers. Considering the fact that each day brings more and more revelations about who Max truly is, it's safe to say he's had a dramatic fall from grace, but is nowhere near the bottom. Def Noodles has made a lot of mistakes during his online career, but picking a fight with Charlie over some friendly criticism was by far the worst.
The greatest crime that I committed was to cause the great voice critical to cringe. I have unfortunately committed the most heinous sin a YouTuber can commit in their career.
Combine this with Def Noodles refusing to take accountability and listen to the voice of reason.
Why make yet another video rolling around in your own personal drama and posting it on your channel? That is self-destructive. That is a downward spiral. Your audience doesn't want to keep seeing you do this. I don't want to see you making videos like this because it's just not a good look.
It's no wonder why his channel had a 98% decline in viewership that ultimately forced him to delete his entire online presence. Def Noodles, whose real name is Dennis Vitoza, built an audience of over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube by creating videos that blended commentary, comedy, and news reporting. Throughout his time on YouTube, Dennis was obsessed with becoming a stand-up comedian. So obsessed, he'd weave edgy jokes when making commentary on serious topics, and even told a viewer to quote, "Go educate yourself at the end
Voyons,
of the barrel of a
lui quand il picosse parce que t'es fatigué, il te lâche pas, t'es fatigué, va te coucher body, va te coucher, t'as l'air fatigué, ok body, etc. Tu le prends pas mal. Bon. S'il a mal pris, ça y appartient. S'il a besoin de réfléchir et de prendre une pause, ça y appartient, il a le droit. Mais...
C'est ce que avec Boyardi?
Non, il m'a flashé.
Pendant le battle ou après?
J'ai demandé. Mais là,
il m'a flashé après le battle. Ah.
Là, tu t'invites qui?
J'essaie d'inviter Bourgo. Il regarde.
Blaguette de mauvais goût, OK, mais 10 par soir tout le temps, non. On va aller voir des personnes qui nous respectent. C'est pas compliqué.
T'as pas à te justifier, t'as rien dit de mal, t'as rien fait de mal, Florence.
You ready? Hey, Steven, I don't think these motherfuckers are ready. Are y'all ready? Okay, I don't know about this. I don't think we're gonna do the show anymore. This crowd's like, they're all asleep.
A majority of the show was just random people getting up on stage to deliver lackluster comments about each other's appearance.
Man, looks like his middle name is Rainbow.
Brando looks like the girl in public school who tries to act hard and then goes home to a mansion.
The finale didn't seem much better, as Dennis faced off with the winner of the previous battles and performed worse than everyone that came before him.
You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Thank you. I bet you cried when you got those tattoos.
I did. Are you from Detroit?
Take a guess.
No. I'm bombing so bad, and I don't give a fuck.
Neither do I, bro. Come on, we need it together, doggy.
Eventually, Dennis gave up on trying to be funny and begrudgingly awarded his opponent the win.
You know what? I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna bring the fucking check.
Why do I win? I thought
Because you won the roast battle.
To no one's surprise, the roast battle was a complete disaster, and to add salt to the wound, Dennis received a week-long ban on Twitch because one of the participants had used the F-slur. However, this wouldn't be the part that affected Dennis the most, as Moist Critical, aka Penguin Zero, aka Charlie, caught wind of the event and gave a few roasts of his own.
Keep in mind, these are strangers. These two people have never met until they walked out on the stage together. So they can't actually roast each other. All they can do is insult each other's appearance, and it is work with. What he did is he assembled a few people who said they've told a joke before in their life, and he had them roast each other. Nobody knew each other. Literally nobody. So all they could do is roast each other's appearance because they don't know any. They don't know them. They're random people that he got together and told them to roast each other.
However, the detail that stood out to Charlie the most was Dennis's obvious insecurities with not being that funny.
He's not even like making retorts. He's just feeling insecure now. He's like, you win, please stop, I'm dead. Please, God, stop. Now you're just hurting my feelings. You're fired.
Dennis's attempt to take his comedy career to the next level had fallen flat, and everyone on YouTube was mocking him for it. But that didn't mean his dreams of being a good comic were over. In fact, if Dennis could take the criticism with grace and use it to make his next show more entertaining, perhaps this story would have ended a little differently. Unfortunately, Dennis saw a different path that didn't involve improving on his mistake, but rather making more of them. On the 22nd of August 2022, Dennis would upload a now-deleted response to Charlie titled My Apology to Moist Critical for First Super Roast Battles, which only served to harm his reputation even further.
Well, I'm thoroughly disappointed that I dared to put on something together for my fans and that the ones who attended thoroughly enjoyed the experience, or so they told me. I'm appalled that I could be such a fool to think that I could fulfill my job and be in entertainment when in fact I am nothing of the sort. I am not a comedian. I'm not even a human. I'm just a clump of cells currently existing and spewing raw bullshit that I'm reading directly from a prompter for your entertainment. I am sitting here ludicrously buckling to my knees, self-deprecatingly acquiescing to the also-great Moist Critical because you didn't like my growth.
Dennis clearly didn't like the fact that Charlie and many commentators had given valid criticism towards his roast battle, and was now using a veil of satire to hide it.
Boy, Mr. Moist Critical, I thank you for your profound observations. I thank you for showing me the light. I will once again produce a super roast battle 2 weeks from now so we can wrong every right that was left unturned.
While Dennis would later retract many of his poorly thought out comments, he had already started something he couldn't finish, as Charlie uploaded another video titled My Response to the Drama.
I don't want this to be construed as some kind of personal attack or anything personal. Like I said when talking about the event, I don't really know Def Noodles. I don't hate him. I've only seen a couple of things on Twitter where he said or did some bad shit that people were dunking on him for.
Charlie went on to analyze Dennis's framing of the situation as allegations.
Here we are once again, addressing more allegations.
This is such a weird way of starting the video because I didn't make any allegations against him. I made jokes about the event and talked about it.
As well as mentioning the damage that he was doing to his fan base and career.
When he posted this video, he lost 3,000 subscribers over the course of 6 hours because, again, his fan base didn't sign up to hear him throw these like self-pity parties here.
In an effort to extend an olive branch to Dennis, Charlie would draw attention to his tendency to make matters worse by impulsively responding to any form of criticism and gave some advice on how to overcome it.
Every YouTuber's made a video they regret, obviously. And I think that's what he's going through at the moment, where he's impulsively responding to things that are kind of non-issues.
Dennis had a pattern of giving knee-jerk reactions to criticism and injecting satire or comedic elements into serious discussions. But why was he like this? What happened during Dennis's YouTube career that made him think it would be a good idea to respond to valid criticism with jokes and satirical statements? Dennis's career as a YouTuber began in late 2018, making reaction and commentary videos on various popular Filipino singers. While he initially didn't garner significant viewership, Dennis seemed to enjoy creating videos for a small but loyal fan base.
This is my first video on this channel. I call it Deaf Noodles because I love noodles. And I also love learning about Filipino culture.
As time passed, Dennis gradually built up confidence as a creator and developed his own signature style of content, which aimed more on a comedic side. He also branched out into making Facebook and Reddit meme compilation videos to further boost his growth on YouTube. By September 2019, Dennis had surpassed over 150,000 subscribers and was bold enough to showcase his work to much larger creators, specifically the commentary YouTuber Kavos during his Make or Break livestream. Unfortunately, he didn't get the reaction he was looking for.
Area 51, raid me! Uh-oh. Where are they? Oh, wait a minute. This guy literally just reads out memes.
This would mark the first time Dennis faced any real critique, and it was apparent he wasn't comfortable with it, as he later uploaded a video titled, Kavos Rude at My Channel, My Response.
No, that's totally fine, I totally get it. Outside of the fact that I'm a douchebag, I don't find myself to be a douchebag. I don't know what in my video caused you to think that I'm a douchebag, but I totally understand that, and that's totally your prerogative.
The entire video was of Dennis deflecting every piece of constructive advice that Kavos offered to protect his ego. Despite how much Kavos' comments had affected him, Dennis would try to brush it off by stating,
thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I have self-confidence, and I'm not going to place my entire self-worth on someone else's opinion of me.
However, a week later, Dennis showed his true feelings on the matter with a now-deleted video titled, Kavos Made Me Want to Quit YouTube. In Dennis's mind, there was no room for negative feedback towards anything he created, and anyone giving such feedback could not see the true value of his content. Even now, he was deluding himself into thinking that there was nothing wrong with his videos and that Kavos was simply being malicious. Dennis failed to understand that criticism was part of being a content creator, and he was about to be taught that lesson the hard way. In response to the criticism from Kavos, Dennis would completely switch up his style of content, from meme reactions to reporting and publishing news stories.
The internet is just one big sandcastle that keeps getting destroyed. With Jeffree Star getting exposed for allegedly stealing from a small makeup brand, things getting even worse for David Dobrik, and Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittick making an apology video, which ends up being an attack video of Trish Paytas and the author of the Insider article.
Naturally, covering such topics would ultimately result in some form of negative feedback, which was something Dennis simply couldn't stand. To protect his ego, Dennis would include the following disclaimer in his channel's About section. Deaf Noodles is a character created by Dennis V. Tozer meant to satirize some of the most deranged, toxic, and destructive aspects of internet culture. The opinions and thoughts expressed by Deaf Noodles are not a reflection of Dennis V. Tozer's beliefs. In theory, this would protect Dennis from any backlash he incurred while covering various topics, and Dennis was certainly going to need said protection. As he went about spreading news headlines, he also earned a reputation for misrepresenting not just facts about the stories he covered, but the people involved in them as well. These misrepresentations include 1. Labeling John Swan as alt-right when covering his drama with Dream. 2. Maliciously framing a clip of Nicholas Diorio as weaponizing his viewers. And 3. Publishing various fake allegations when covering James Charles. Whenever he was rightfully called out for these blunders, Dennis reverted to calling everything satire and that it shouldn't be taken seriously. In essence, Dennis wanted to say anything he wanted about whoever he wanted without any recourse. In addition, Dennis's channel had grown to over 500,000 subscribers, which afforded a certain level of credibility despite his actions. However, it was only a matter of time before Dennis got a taste of his own medicine, when on the 21st of May 2021, Keemstar made a Twitter joke post calling Deaf Noodles, not Dennis, a PDF file. Deaf Noodles is allegedly girls from ages 12 to 15. big YouTuber source. Victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous, but may come forward soon. Hashtag drama alert. As you'd expect, Dennis didn't take this joke lightly and opted to sue Keemstar for spreading false allegations.
Anyway, folks, as you read in the title of the video, I am suing Keemstar. Now, for those of you who started following me recently and are not aware, nearly 1 year ago, Keemstar knowingly published false and defamatory allegations against me.
There was already a long-running feud between the two, and this lawsuit only added fuel to the fire. Dennis would even go as far as asking other creators that Keemstar had wronged to join in on the lawsuit. Fortunately for Keemstar, his lawyer pointed out that the accusations were made towards Def Noodles, not Dennis, which led to the case making no sense at all. Ironically, Dennis had done the exact same thing he was suing Keemstar for several times, and was about to do it again to another creator named Papa Gut. On the 8th of February, Dennis and Papa Gut had a debate over his coverage of the B family drama, which was an active issue at the time.
Well, I will say that it's interesting that we're focusing so much on her crying, but not so much on the other aspect where we have like something that's been a very historical problem of maturing young black kids and then over-prescribing punishment. There's a big problem with them intentionally getting the age wrong and then over-prescribing punishment. Their punishment was that they think that he should get banned from YouTube. They're going to follow him.
And I said it in my video. I said that it's never going to happen.
Look, that's never going to happen is different from do you think it should happen? Did you think it should get banned?
Look, I'm against deplatforming. I've been deplatformed myself on Twitter. I don't think anybody should ever lose their platform for any fucking reason.
Things would only become more heated as their debate went on.
But your jokes are, if she bleeds, she breathes. If she bleeds,
see, I knew it. You just brought those up to try to deplatform me. It's a pathetic move.
I'm not trying to deplatform you. I'm fucking
I literally explained why that was rude, and your perspective is that that joke was appropriate. Incredibly disingenuous mind. Everything that you say is so bad faith, and I'm expected to sit here while you yell for 75% of the debate.
Dennis would walk away from that debate holding a grudge against Papa Gut, and inevitably making false allegations against him as well. MF got famous on TikTok for joking about effing year-old girls, then gets offended someone jokes about him. But you know, he was right. I should have said that. I should have said instead he makes himself so small in his videos to hide the fact he looks like a PDF file. Within hours, Papa Gut would make a video response to the situation, in a video titled, Def Noodles is a bad person.
You retweeted the context. Here's the context. The joke was, if she's old enough to bleed, he's old enough to breed. Thank you very much, Andre Lopez, for the advice, right? Somehow, he looked at this and said, I'm gonna nail Papa Gut on this point.
Topics regarding SA were a sensitive spot for Papa Gut, due to his wife being a victim of such, and he sadly broke down into tears on camera.
Now I get to I just put in a situation where I feel like I just have to bear my entire soul, and you're gonna listen to this and you're gonna laugh, you're gonna think it's funny. But you wanna know what, Dennis? It's not funny.
According to Know Your Meme, Dennis would make an apology video regarding the situation, but that wouldn't stop him from making a t-shirt of Papa Gut crying.
Yes, he made a t-shirt, okay, of me crying, and this is like the 10th time that he's put this up. I think that he thinks it upsets me.
Dennis had proven himself to be very thin-skinned when it came to any form of criticism or call-outs. He'd vengefully attack anyone who he thought bruised his ego and labeled his mistakes as jokes. However, what he did during his second roast battle showed how far Dennis was willing to go to sustain his fragile sense of self. Fast forward to the 2nd of September 2022, Dennis is once again hosting a super roast battle, but this time it's with a twist. One of his biggest critics was in attendance. A creator by the name of Salvo Pancakes had taken Dennis's offer to join the roast battle and brought dozens of fans with him. While Salvo was unable to attend the first roast battle, his presence this time dramatically changed the atmosphere in the venue, as he began riling up the crowd before the show even started. Given the circumstances, Dennis was getting the lively show he wanted, and would probably have had a successful show if things continued this way. All Dennis had to do was come out and face Salvo like a true comedian, but sadly, he had other ideas. Dennis had shown everyone how hypocritical he was. Remember, Dennis had asked creators to come duke it out in a roast battle, and when they did show up, he shoved them back into the crowd. Dennis didn't care about the roast battle, and instead focused on sustaining his overinflated ego, an ego that Salvo was about to cut down to size with just one comment. There was no coming back for Dennis's reputation after that night, as every commentary channel on YouTube covered the disaster, especially Charlie.
So I think ultimately Death Noodles, as well as the community, realized it's not that big of a deal. It's not a crime to hold a bad comedy night. But you know what is a crime? Assault. And that happened last night at Death Noodle's most recent Super Roast battle.
Charlie continues by grilling Dennis for a scummy overreaction during the event.
It's a big overreaction from Death Noodles here. Unless, of course, there was an imminent threat where the guy was on stage talking about he's going to start throwing hands with everyone in the front row or something, or making like legitimate threats to the crowd. He pushes him from behind and then hides behind his friends to keep the other guy off of him, which I think is pretty lame. If you're going to start some shit, you gotta finish that shit.
In the weeks and months that followed, Dennis lost 90% of his viewership and what little respect anyone had left for him. While Dennis would try to save his channel by switching up his content to challenge videos, viewers still disliked his content or didn't watch them at all. It's unclear if Dennis was trying to be funny or if he had truly given up on his YouTube, but he had uploaded 2 videos challenging his dwindling audience to unsubscribe. Unsurprisingly, Dennis's channel fell to all-time lows, as many of his videos failed to surpass 2,000 views, and his subscribers were dropping off by the day. The turning point for Dennis would come after reacting to Sunny V2, documenting his downfall. While the video has since been deleted, a creator by the name of Low Light would cover it on my channel.
A video was made by the creator Sunny V2, and it documented his downfall and his mistakes that got him to where he is now. He did a reaction to this where he literally said nothing the entire time. We just watched it and he was just a little blurb in the corner. It seems like watching that video really opened up his eyes and it really sunk in, and maybe it already had.
Another deleted video that showcased how far Dennis had spiraled was his video titled Coming Clean About Everything, which was covered on his Reddit page. I watched Steph's video about coming clean on everything that he posted a few days ago. It's hard to tell if it's genuine or not, since he's been shitposting this subreddit for a while, as well as shitposting weird obtuse videos on his main YouTube channel for a while now. But I do think he wants to do better. I think Uber was a good step for him. Dennis needs a real job to humble him, particularly something that takes him offline. These constant apology videos and reflection videos where he overshares just become exhausting when the guy needs to stop feeling entitled to a YouTube audience. The posts from Dennis that were referenced were the ones that came after he realized the true damage he had done to his career. I'm a manipulative, attention-seeking hope. Should I quit and get a real job? Should I just end it all? What job should I get? I am broke and can't afford therapy. What should I do? Should I go to rehab? I want to give up. How can I make things right with everyone I've wronged? I am so depressed. Dennis's need to feed his ego had cost him everything, and it was only when things were at their worst that he truly understood that.
I give up. I really do. I give up. It's over. It just really fucked it all up. I was really embarrassed and ashamed to admit it, but I did it. It's all my fault. I've put myself here. I mean, I just come to terms with the fact that there's no way out.
Although those that didn't believe Dennis was genuine about his declining emotional state, the fact that he had to cancel 2 of his shows at the comedy club due to an emergency raised some concerns. Thankfully, Keemstar later confirmed that Dennis was still alive. Checked in with Dev Noodles, he is alive. All can say for now for those that are concerned. Dennis's obsession with being seen as a funny comedian was what truly led to his downfall. This obsession pushed him to create a comedic persona that poorly reported the news, and eventually started the roast battle that destroyed his reputation as well as his finances. To make matters even worse, Dennis didn't have the mental stability to endure the criticism that comes with being a creator, which became the root cause of many controversies. All these factors slowly eroded the trust and respect Dennis had with his fan base, as many of them decided to leave rather than watch his self-destructive antics. As of May 2024, Dennis has wiped all of his social media platforms of prior posts, and it's unlikely he'll ever be ready to return. However, we can only hope that he sees the error of his ways and takes necessary steps to put his life back together. At the end of the day, he doesn't deserve to have his life ruined over being unfunny and not being able to take criticism. Charlie's conflict with the insane bodybuilder Vegan Gains would go down as one of the most tumultuous controversies in YouTube history. A mentally ill vegan who goes as far as making fun of children with cancer.
So blah blah blah. Cancer is an almighty killer and I wish there was a cure for it. I, for one, will be supporting Team Lewis in the future and hope you guys will too. One day, cancer will be a thing of the past and the memory of Lewis will live on in the cure when it's found.
To wishing death upon Charlie.
Would literally jizz my pants if I heard a vegan ended the existence of Penguin Zero, or
all the way to threatening literal babies.
And when I see babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the and step on it until it's nothing but blood and pulp on the fucking pavement.
Vegan Gains, real name Richard Burgers.
Fuck you, Richard Burgers.
Controversial and provocative content centered around veganism. Targeting meat eaters and other YouTube bodybuilders, he cultivated a reputation for his aggressive and confrontational style, quickly becoming a divisive figure in the YouTube landscape. By 2015, his notorious antics had garnered disdain from the broader YouTube community, although his following of more radicalized vegans continued to swell amidst the escalating drama. In late 2015, the world would witness some of the first signs of sociopathic symptoms, when Vegan Gains' grandfather would suffer and die from a heart attack right in front of his eyes. For an average person, this would be an extremely traumatizing event, but for Vegan Gains, this was an opportunity to take out his camera.
I just got back from the funeral thing that we had. It wasn't exactly a funeral, but a bunch of family got together and
My apologies.
dragged to it. But anyway, I was planning on showing you guys footage of my grandfather actually having the heart attack. As soon as the paramedics got to the house, I
How long
took out
is
my
this
camera and
fucking
started
video?
filming. But a bunch of people in my family, my mom, my grandmother, uncles,
Holy.
but heart disease and make people actually die of fucking heart attacks. But when it comes to actually showing people what happens when they eat these foods, that's just too much. So
Later in the video, Vegan Gains would talk about the situation like it didn't even matter and like it was deserved, showing zero empathy at all.
now, why this heart attack happened, it's obvious he was eating like absolute fucking shit, ridiculous amounts of like red meat.
Me too, life.
You know, I knew a few
Wake
months
me
ago
up
he didn't have long to
inside.
live.
Wake me up and save me. Call my name and save me from myself. How can you see into my eyes like open door? Bring into me, into my core, but I become so no. Into the fun that there in me is fine.
Physically and mentally. Now this is where Vegan Gains enters the picture. Richard is a Canadian-born man in his 20s that is fully committed to the vegan lifestyle and runs a YouTube channel about it. Because of past altercations with Pete, Vegan Gains decided to make a video about the cancer and let his true feelings out loud and clear.
And it seems I was correct because Pete got cancer again. Oh, so sad. And before you all start calling me a sociopath as some sort of attempt to insult me, how about you consider the fact that Furious Pete makes fun of the suffering and death of the animals he eats on a daily basis. So I don't see why I should make a joke about his suffering and death. So who would like a "haha, you're gonna die of cancer" t-shirt?
This would just make up of one of the many times that Vegan Gains would actively push out borderline sociopathic opinions and stances online.
There are some people that I really do love, and I think they're worth something, but the majority of the human race, I just have absolutely no respect for. So don't get on my bad side, make some vegan gains, and be nice to animals, or I'll kill you.
One of the many fitness YouTubers that Vegan Gains would beef with was a creator known as Lex Fitness. Throughout the controversy, Lex Fitness would claim that Vegan Gains was a keyboard warrior and challenged him to confront him in person, which to Lex's surprise, he actually did. By July, Grade A Under A, a popular YouTuber at the time, would create 2 videos calling out and making fun of Vegan Gains, which would gain 1.6 million views and 4.8 million views respectively, ultimately massively boosting the awareness for Vegan Gains. For Vegan Gains, times. Any attention was good attention, and she would make a video thanking Grade A Under A for sharing his content to millions of people.
A lot of you have been begging me to respond to Grade Under A, and some of you have gotten the idea that the reason I've been reluctant to do so is because of fear of embarrassment. But no, I just don't have a problem with someone giving me free advertising that is so effective it reaches over 3 million people. So let me do what I do best, which is feed off the popularity of others.
Entering 2016, Vegan Gains would catch the attention of popular YouTuber at the time, Leafy is here, who would go on to create a video on him, further sharing his content.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Let me, Vegan Gains, a YouTuber that has 200,000 subscribers, a very proud and active animal rights supporter, one of the few inactive vegetarian bodybuilders, and last but definitely not least, a fucking psychopath. This guy is fucking nuts. Like, this motherfucker is fucking insane. Like, this dude is most known on this entire website for, get this, alright? Threatening to fucking kill people that decide not to only eat fucking plants.
And you're going to die just like those animals.
On top of all that, he's also known for threatening people that don't like him to, get this, come and meet him somewhere so they can try to fucking kill him. And I'm not talking about killing him in Call of Duty or something. I'm talking about real life. You get stabbed in the neck, you're done. It's over. It all started a few months ago when he uploaded a brand new video saying he was going to a vegetable club, and that if you didn't like him, you could actually come to that vegetable club and try to straight up battle him.
So it's a good opportunity to try and kill me, so if you think you have the fucking guts, come to the fucking Toronto Veg Fest.
I swear to God, I am so fucking done. This dude is literally threatening people to come and find him at a fucking vegetable club so they can find him. Like, dude, what is this guy's life?
Monsieur, excusez Sébastien Bourgault. Chôlage, moi, pas chôlage. Ok, arrêtez.
As you can likely imagine, that's the most inhumane way of killing a squid and preparing it. She didn't dress the squid, she fucking mutilated it while it was alive.
The video proved to be a massive success, accumulating over 9 million views.
Whoa.
But it also succeeded in raising awareness about the inhumane treatment of animals on the platform, a move that was widely recognized by the YouTube community, with comments stating, "The worst part of this is that octopuses are known to have very similar emotions to humans. The fact that the squid was still alive when she ripped off the head things, absolutely disgusting." As well as, I think the most sinister part about this is that she acts like this is silly. She laughs and makes funny noises. She's acting like this is comedic. It's sick. Whilst it's safe to say the YouTube community saw the video as a grim reality check, Vegan Gains would see it as his golden ticket to relevancy. On the 17th of April, Vegan Gains would publish a video titled Penguin Zero the Arch Hypocrite, where throughout the video, he would criticize and call out Charlie for allegedly being a hypocrite, referencing a video that Charlie posted earlier that month titled I Tried Making Sausages and It Was a Disaster.
But I was really sad to see that only a few weeks after Penguin made this video, he uploaded a video where he supported animal cruelty. He made a sausage making video.
So what is this, Charlie?
Honestly, I don't know anymore. This looks like something I would have dissected in biology class in high school.
You're gonna show him the front of it and show him what it's supposed to be?
It's supposed to be sausage casing, but I feel like I've been scammed and got intestines.
So it seems that Penguin is unaware of this, but sausage casings, at least natural sausage casings like the ones he's using, are in fact made out of animal intestines. And if you look at the package, hog sausage casings, as the name implies, these sausage casings are made out of pig intestines.
No way.
So I find it interesting that Penguin will complain about So Young abusing, torturing, and murdering these sentient animals, these very intelligent animals, by the way, like octopi and squid, but he's totally fine with abusing, torturing, and murdering other very intelligent animals, you know, in the meat industry.
Whilst Vegan Gains managed to compose himself considerably well throughout the video, many of his arguments would be irrational and difficult to take seriously, such as when he claimed Charlie was worse than So Young simply because he eats meat.
So who are you to criticize So Young for not killing these animals quickly and humanely when you can't even do that yourself? So you're just a complete hypocrite, and if anything, What you're doing is arguably worse because, again, you're paying someone else to do it. It's happening behind closed doors. You can keep getting away with this, you can keep doing this, and you don't have to suffer any social repercussions, financial repercussions. I'm sure eventually So Young's YouTube channel will end up being terminated for this sort of content, but you can keep doing this and just get away scot-free. So I also want to touch on this issue you brought up of humane killing. There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel. It is inherently cruel to take away the life of a sentient being that has a will to live. If we were doing the sort of thing to family pets like dogs, if somebody shot a dog in their backyard, killed it instantly in one shot,
the video would be received extremely negatively, with it amassing over 30,000 dislikes compared to only a mere 4,000 likes, with comments stating, "The amount of punchability this man's face has is incredible. If you can't tell the difference of ripping apart a live animal and torturing it for fun, and ordering a fish sandwich, you've got some serious mental issues there, Mr. Gaines. What about attitude and outlook you have? My God." As well as, "Okay buddy, on one side, we have a weird lady who eats animals alive, and on the other side, we have Critical, who eats processed foods. Why don't you actually compare the two like-minded people, like a person who actually supports animal abuse and the octopus lady?" The following day, Charlie would publish a video titled "Addressing a Controversy," where he would respond to the video Vegan Gaines created about him. Charlie, being an animal lover, took the accusations and opinions very seriously. But he would also go into depth on how Vegan Gaines and his cult-like following are the reason that vegans get a bad reputation, and why most average people wouldn't even consider turning to veganism themselves.
I want to lead this conversation by saying I have nothing but respect for veganism as a whole, but it's people like Vegan Gaines who are overly aggressive and the feral monsters in his comments section that really give vegans a bad rap and a negative reputation in the world. They vilify anyone who's not a vegan. They treat it like a cult where you're a huge piece of shit, evil and wrong if you're not in their club. Now, of course, I'm not talking about everyone who is a vegan. I am talking about this community that Vegan Gaines has fostered here and he himself. This is the worst way of ever getting anyone to convert to that belief. By constantly antagonizing them and throwing insults to anyone that is not already a vegan ensures that they will never take it seriously and always have a negative impression of your beliefs. They're like those protesters outside of Comic-Con every year with those "Jesus fucking hates people that like cartoon signs. You guys are wrong, you guys suck, and you're going to hell if you don't come to our church." No one's ever going to go to that. No one likes to be lectured at, berated, or insulted. They're not going to go to those people that are throwing those their way.
Following this, Charlie would reveal that he himself actually supports meat alternatives, and that they could in fact be the future. This sentiment would serve as the tone for the rest of the video, as Charlie respectfully dismantled all of Vegan Gaines' arguments.
And I think that sucks because I truly believe meat substitutes are the future. 100%. It's much more sustainable. There's so many benefits to meat substitutes, and that it is just a significantly better, cheaper, and just all-around better market. But it's more about getting people to accept that that could be the future. But you have people like Vegan Gaines being the face of it, and no one takes it seriously, and they get this really bad taste in their mouth.
Later in the video, Charlie addresses the allegations that his presenting a thoughtful counter-argument.
So this one here, I am just as bad if not worse than So Young because I'm paying someone to do what she does on camera. But that's not it either, like you're totally fucking wrong. I'm not paying someone to torture animals. What people who eat meat are under the impression of, they're paying someone to humanely provide that food for them, given the circumstances, as humane as it can possibly be. If I found out the place I'm getting my meat from has a fucking YouTube channel where they're finger blasting cow carcasses and using chicken corpses as baseball bats, I'll stop buying from it, obviously. No one is paying for these animals to be paraded around on YouTube and tortured, have salt poured on their corpse so they wiggle around and scream. No one's paying for that. So for him to say that I want to go out of my way to slap these meat producers in the face with money because I need that precious meat and don't care how they treat the animals is outright wrong.
Subsequently, he confronts the absurd claim that his meat purchases are inhumane and cruel, articulating a well-reasoned response.
Humane killing? There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel. It is inherently cruel.
This is a point I see brought up throughout all of veganism, that no matter how an animal is killed, no matter how humane it's deemed, it is inherently evil and wrong. But I have to ask, then, does that make every animal in the animal kingdom inherently evil? Because the vast majority of animals out there eat other animals to survive, and they don't do it quickly. So does that make every animal in the animal kingdom that eats other animals inherently evil, or is that trait specific to humans?